Every person has a story, but not everyone has a place to tell it. I'm Frank Swoboda. As a filmmaker for over 35 years, I've interviewed amazing people all over the planet. I want you to meet them. This week, the most interesting person you've never heard of is...
I'm Nick Swoboda. I'm the most interesting person you've never heard of because you're going to find out a whole lot on this podcast.
Welcome to the very special edition of the Most Interesting Person You've Never Heard of podcast. This is our 50th episode, and what better person to have on the 50th episode of the MIP podcast than the godfather of the MIP podcast, my son, Nick Swoboda. Nick, welcome to the MIP podcast.
Thank you. And yeah, this is like a co-godfather-ship, which is weird because you are my father, but
Luke.
Yeah, we have to bring Zach out for a cameo.
We do. So the other cohort that's been here from the beginning, the original producer really of the MIP podcast.
You call him crack
Zach
producer.
Melton. Come here, Zach.
Yep.
Come on in.
Yep.
We have a special Zach all the way from Chicago. He came in special for this event, and we're gonna pour him.
He may or may not drink it. If not, Kevin. Kevin will.
Pour it. You're gonna drink it?
You make me pour my own drink, Nick? Yeah.
No.
Wow.
That wasn't the intent.
I mean,
I got out of your way.
Zach doesn't drink, so we're making him drink. A toast. This is really for the toast.
I thought Kevin would do it.
A toast
to the MIP team.
MIP.
Let's go.
Episode 50.
Right, cheers, folks.
Thank you, Zach, for everything you've done to make this great. And we're looking at numbers. I'm actually looking at numbers we just figured out today.
It's bright.
This podcast has had over 5.5 million views.
Zach.
Did you know that?
Wait, what?
5.5 million views. We've got 47,000
it's on the board.
We've had on this. We got 4,600 followers so far. And of course we've won 2 Signal Awards for Best Podcast in America. Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And it all was your idea. So what made you think of this?
Well, I guess Zach and I were already kind of doing a podcast, and I did like 5 or 6 episodes. But you were like the obvious choice instead. I mean, like, you know way more people that are interesting but not heard of, and like that's really all I could expect either. So you're a better pick any day of the week. And also I knew that I could just come here and just star on it anyway.
It's way better to star and not have to do the 49 before it.
Exactly. So
that is a great idea. Well, I mean, when I think of,
but Zach's really the reason. I mean, I'm like, between you two, like,
yeah, but it was really your idea. You're like, you need to do a podcast, and I was like, why should I? What even is a podcast, and why should I do that? And you were like, no, this is good for just the what we do anyway as a business to make sure we understand how this format works, and it's been awesome. I mean, it's helped us gain clients, it's helped us gain all kinds of momentum, and it's just been fun to catch up with people that I've known for so long that I haven't been able to talk to very much.
I mean, really, that's what you do. I'm like watching you interview people for hours every day. I'm like, why don't you just have some fun with it? Drink some Amador whiskey.
Speaking of that, so you've grown up on all... Do you need a morning superpower? Dutch Bros has your back. From a classic Americano, my personal favorite, to a wild, whipped-up Rebel energy drink, they've got what you need to conquer the day, and maybe even your inbox. Swing by your local Dutch Bros today and level up. You've grown up on a set your whole life. What's that been like? Because I don't know how much you remember of. I remember you on sets. I don't know what you remember of those, like the basket when we made that. I don't know if you have any memories.
Oh, we could go. Well, not really. I've got photos of me. I think during half of it, wasn't I just born?
No, you were like three or four.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've got some photos and stuff that I've seen over the
That
years.
sweet little blue
with the
hat.
barn burning.
Yes.
And then
Do you remember the barn burning?
well, I'd like to say so, but I think it's just me imagining the movie and
Yeah.
seeing the movie scene back.
Right.
That's like really hard to parse out.
Right. Well, the cool part of that
But,
was what I do
yeah,
remember about that was
Karen.
that Karen Allen, the
Mhm.
star of the movie, who was also in Starman and Raiders of the Lost Ark and
Come on.
Animal House, she was holding
She's
you
killer.
in her arms while the
Mhm.
barn burned. And you had a great little blue hat that we used to love, little, like a little
Oh yeah, the
beanie
little
hat
baby
that
hat,
was
little
cool.
boot. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll never forget her holding you. But you don't quite remember that. You were probably like, it
No,
was a
that
little
one's
much.
too far back, but honestly, we could probably talk about like different sets and different things for years. We have a hidden gem. I'm not even gonna announce it. Maybe Zach will want to like throw a clip or something in, but we've got I can't say the name. If I say the name, it's gonna be so easy. We've got like a little behind the, I don't even know what to call it. It's a movie. It's a film. It's on film. It's shot on film.
It is.
It's super cool. That's my first memory on set because I starred in it partially.
You wrote it.
I helped write a single line, right? Or something.
You wrote the whole, it was your whole idea.
Was it?
Are we talking about the same show?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5,000 Screams.
Oh, no. That's another one. See, there's so many.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about a very Christmassy themed.
Oh.
Yeah, you know.
Oh my gosh.
You know
yes.
You
What
know
I am totally, that was
we
Doug
can't
Cheney.
name it because
the Swoboda
well, now it
film.
goes. Now it's gonna be viral. But
No.
yeah.
It was a video
Yep.
that Doug Cheney did, who used to work as a DP with me.
I
and
remember
he had
that.
you in it and me in it.
Yep.
We were both in it.
The stars.
I was like a pretend interview, and then you played me as a kid.
But it was real. Like I think a lot of people totally thought that was serious. I don't know if that was the intent.
All about that.
And I don't want to spoil it in case someone comes across it and like believes in the lore or something.
Well, I remember you. I mean, you were on that, and we made a movie that you wrote and I helped film.
Yeah.
Called 5,000 Screams with
Yep.
you and your buddy.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Well, should we
We
go?
may have to play that too and drop that into this podcast because it was
Okay.
pretty sweet.
Unfortunately, we have cuts
But you've
of that
been in
digitized.
stuff for Brats and Beretta. You've acted in a lot of stuff through the years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at some point, I guess I have to talk about stuff or whatever. But yeah, I've got millions and millions of views on Brats and Beretta stuff. I don't want to shout it out. I'm proud of my characters,
Owned by Jesus.
but and there you go. So, but you know, only one person gets to have that happen, or it only happens ever so often. So, and it was the real Jesus, I believe. You never know.
we have no proof that it wasn't.
I have no proof.
The other thing about you, just as we start from the beginning,
I got to stop you for a second. I actually looked up that video a few years ago just to see like if it got more. That thing blew up.
which one?
And like the top comment, the Brats and Beretta one, like the top comment is like, this kid's probably 27 now or something. I was 27 at the time, so I went and commented on it or something. You probably gotta look it up.
I got to see it. So it was called Jesus Pwned Me, and it was a Brats
We don't
and
need
Beretta
to
video.
shout it out too much, but yeah.
I mean, no, it was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
You were awesome.
And those guys
in it.
are awesome too. I mean, like they're like
They
the
loved working with you.
original.
They're the original.
like,
They worked. They
YouTube.
both worked
Yeah.
here at the time, and they blew up. They were one of the original YouTube kind of sensations. Millions of views. They had their own pilot on NBC. It was they
Cool
were
people, too.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
the
know.
best.
I love those
Yeah,
guys.
no, they're just great.
I gotta reach out and
dudes.
see
I
what's up.
know. We got to.
Very cool.
Joe needs to be on this podcast.
Oh, both of them. Oh, that'd
And
be
Luke,
so cool.
that would be incredible.
That'd be sweet.
All
They
right.
should do it. Well, I don't know what they're doing.
That
these
would
days,
be pretty rad if they would both do that. The other thing that I think about when I think about you probably don't remember this, but you remembered. You're the only person I've ever met that lives in this world that remembered being born.
Oh, you're really trying to make me viral today, aren't you? He wants these clips. Like, just go follow the podcast so I can live my life.
No,
No, I'm just playing.
Do
Yeah.
you remember?
Yeah.
Your
No,
mom and I
out
have
of
talked
all
about this.
seriousness. Yeah. Well, you can give some authenticity to it and lead into it. What do you remember of it? You know what I mean? So I'm not just preaching something.
Well,
you
the
may or
story.
may not know.
What I remember was that you were 10, and 8 or 9 or 10, and you and I, for some reason, Mom and Emma were gone, and we went to the Onion restaurant downtown. And I remember that John Stockton and his family were right next to us at the table for some reason. And you're like, we're just sitting there and you go, hey, Dad, does everybody remember being born?
Okay.
And I'm like, no one remembers being born. And you're like, I do. And you proceeded to tell me how you were born, where you were in the room, and you were part of.
I drew it.
You drew it. Yep, you drew it on a napkin. We got a napkin and a pen. I'm like, okay, well, where was the bed and where was the door? And you walked through the entire experience. And
weird, dude.
Do you remember any of this?
No, I remember telling it to you for sure. I don't know if you even have that. You probably saved that paper somewhere or something. I don't. It was a napkin, right?
But you kind of remembered it, and the story you told me was, and what had happened. I think you and your mom both had a near-death experience.
We did.
Near-death experience. I think you both actually died and came back to life.
Her pulse went dead for like a certain amount of time, which is like, how long was it? Was it like 30 seconds?
I didn't even know that it had been short enough that I didn't even know that had happened because she was in kind of such a Zen space. But essentially what I said to you was, where were you? And what you remember was that you were going to be born and you weren't sure you were going to, and you were holding hands with an angel and looking at the angel, and you both said, should we do it? Yeah, let's do it. And you were born.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah. And I remember that I remember the time I told you that, and then we've talked about it and I get reminded of it. So I've got the image of it still in my mind. Although same thing as before. I'm not sure if I'm watching the movie or I'm remembering that. But I mean, I said that to you and I remember that conversation with you.
Yeah.
But that's accurate. It felt like it was a decision in a way.
Yeah.
It was
a joint decision.
Right. And it was almost like there was three entities and one of them was unsure. And it was definitely a conversation or whatever. And then it was this confident decision. I was sold. I enter the scene almost what are we stopping for?
Let's go get born.
I was already of course I want to do this, but there was this concerned thing and almost this overlooking thing. I don't know, but I do remember that, and that I've tried to cement it in my mind every time that it comes up again, but I don't think I'll forget it after.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you were born, and then I said, okay, well, what happened then? And you're like, well, I remember I was with Mom for a little bit, and you pointed where I was standing, where the doctor was standing. And you said, and then I was with Mom for a little bit, and then they took me away and they took me down the hall. I'm like, where did you go down the hall? Did you go right or left out of the door? When we go right, you did go right. We went down to the next door. You turned left. You went into the ICU, and they put you immediately in intensive care. So you mapped out kind of the exact route that you went, and you would never have known that. I mean, we've never talked about that before. You never,
and it's weird.
That.
The last year or so, Leslie's mom shared me or we were on a trip or something.
Your fiance Leslie.
Yeah. My fiance Leslie. Shout out to Caroline. Yeah, she showed me this study or something, or this documentary, and it's people that have had near-death experiences.
Yes.
And they anecdote very similar stuff, which is, I don't know, it's weird because I found out this year, not 10 years ago or 15 years ago or something, but I think there's some common theme there. I don't know if it means anything. It's
I just think there's a special, I've always felt the younger the person being born today, the more aware they are or connected they are to what's possible, or if you want to say they're more, enlightened. I don't know the words, but there is every generation that's born is more conscious of
I believe
wired in a way that's more aware than the version before them. You know, the generation before them.
wired for this world.
For this world, you're
Right,
much
yeah.
more wired for
That's
this
right.
world than I am today. And you just, I don't know, that there was a time during when you were born, they studied this thing. I don't know if somebody at Harvard or somebody came out with this thing called Indigo Kids.
I was just gonna mention that.
And you were
shout
one of
out to the
you-
1996
Indigo
5,
Kids.
that kind of era.
There's something
Yep.
about that era of kid that you were born into that I think, I don't know, maybe this has something part of that, but there's I don't know, consciousness, awareness, something like that. You just have always had it. You've always been you don't even see this, but I'm like, I've always thought the minute your whole life it's like no matter what, Nick is just cool. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but you've just always been cool.
I thought
Like
you
your
were saying
friends have thought you
nerdy,
are.
but okay.
No, never. Like just always kind of cool. And you could speak when you were a year and a half, you could hold a conversation like this as though you were a 20-year-old adult. And you were so
Right.
little because you were born premature
Yeah.
and you kind of took a while to grow up. And you were just this little man walking around and talking. And all our friends would just go, who is this? You're sort of a marvel.
That's
It was weird.
well, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. It's something to do. I don't know if it's like every generation's got something. I feel like every upcoming generation is more tapped in, like you're saying. But there is something to do with like that. Like we talk about this sometimes, like the youngest of the old type of deal where
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because certain people are of age that are, like decision makers and in power or something, and like it transitions. But I don't know. I mean, on all the social media platforms, it's probably my feed, and this is probably totally wrong actually, but there's a bunch of people that I'll never meet that are always saying like that couple years is special. And I think that may not come around until maybe this whole AI curve hits again, where technology was, I got to see no computers. I got to see, I made 5,000 screams. That it's a James Bond throwback
Thriller
yeah,
movie.
on VHS through it wasn't super, it was a Panasonic, so
Yeah,
it was still
a Panasonic.
digital, but and I've used tape machines
It was
and
like
stuff like that.
DT
Yeah.
tape or whatever.
Right, the little DC cable. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that technological shift that doesn't happen very often. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm super normal, but like my interests in certain, even pop culture stuff, there's something about that era where
You have enough of a memory of stuff before, but like we've talked about you being the oldest of the young, which is you're 28
people,
now,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And that
get a check.
era is like, in terms of social media, and we'll get into this because you run our digital ad campaigns here and all the digital stuff that we do for our clients, but you understand it in a way and are wired in a way that someone literally a year older than you doesn't get TikTok the way you do, and people younger kind of, you can communicate with them in a way that somebody even literally a year older than you can't.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I don't know if it's like the technology changing or like there's experts in the fundamentals. Like the furthest back, like if you could understand what Isaac Newton did on a fundamental level, you could be so if someone handed you an iPhone after a week, you'd learn how it works, and then you'd have a really good reference point of like, I don't know, he's a weird example, but like if you coming from knowledges of like structures that are like, simple fundamentals, then I feel like all the other stuff is easier to look at. But at some point, I know I'm going to be even myself like, dang, this is moving really fast, unless there's tools that are easy to use that help you catch up with that. But that's the curve is always happening, so that's fun.
Well, it's
pushes
funny
life.
because we and I we work together all the time, and I have to sort of interpret for my generation what you understand just inherently on the digital level, especially in digital ads and all of that stuff that most of the people that are my age don't get or understand, And your sister and Emma talked about this last night. She's like, it's we even thought this would be a cool name for a company, but digital bridge, like they're like
Probably is
like
one.
having to be the digital
Buy that from me.
bridge for this. There is a digital divide. We see you have to deal with clients of ours that are older, right, 40 plus, who don't quite understand the way somebody under 40 would understand the importance of social media, particularly digital shorts platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels and all that stuff. There's just a digital understanding, right?
Digital divide. Digital
Yeah, it's
bridge.
real.
Yeah, I like it.
It's real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's probably the platforms doing their own awareness stuff, but that gap is getting smaller between people that don't know, or TikTok, or like what's happening with these platforms. Like that's
COVID absolutely helped it.
Yeah, maybe that is it. It was probably COVID.
People were home. Zoom, how to be, and Teams. Those have had huge impacts on people kind of be living on computers and communicating that way because it's the only way they knew how to. I think we see it in the digital ads that we run. The jump of viewership from 2020 to today is so much bigger than before that.
Especially like, watching ads, it's become part of your life instead of, you're not back in the day seeing an ad on TV or something. I mean, you still see them on TV, but even with what we're doing, but it's like, it's such a different deal. It's
because you don't really see them on TV.
Well, no, I do.
Super Bowl.
I mean, same as us,
maybe, but you're watching them through a YouTube Live.
Yeah, it's all kind of wrapped up in kind of the same thing.
A digital platform.
More, you're not convincing yourself. Like the ethos has changed. Like no, that's not the status quo has changed. Like before, it's like I gotta watch an ad that is gonna play on my TV during this commercial break. I have to watch it, and I don't like it. It's just I have to do it now. Ads and content are becoming so intertwined, and there's like the synergy that's, if you do it right, full circle, I think you just become a friendly part of, what the content that your people that you want to engage with you are already actively watching. So, I mean, some stuff, and you got to do your asks with ads. You got to, sometimes you have to, just put your name out there, or you have to, ask for your community to help or something like that. But
raising money, donating to something, helping with a cut. Yeah.
But if you're already part of their system and they enjoy watching you, it makes it so easy. And people really want to support. Like, people want to help. People want to be out here, and they just kind of don't know how. So
as much as we're advertising, we're really telling stories more than ever.
Yeah.
And,
seriously,
and people really are watching the stories that are sort of brought to you by a platform or a brand, and they want to see what the next episode is, and that's just become and it's not going to change, I don't think.
I do. I mean, there's random stuff online, and there's like, new Netflix shows and whatever, but once you find like the wholesome stuff, like I like to wake up and watch the same stuff, like listen to reggae in the morning, like
what do you watch?
What do you wake up with? I've got a system. I watch. Well, now I just wake up and do like a little push out routine, little workout routine, go run, go ground myself in the earth, and then get on my computer and go to work, because we're doing a lot. We're in the middle of a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
But when things level out, I try and wake up with reggae music, and I got a favorite reggae YouTuber that I watch. Not reggae, it's intertwined, but he's from Jamaica. And I don't know, I got a whole system. I forget the handle. It's just a YouTube name. No, I'm not even gonna butcher it right now. But I watch him like every day. I'll shout out freelance man Chucky, though. I'll tell you what.
Who's that?
You have to find out. Yeah.
Freelance?
Yeah. So just so people know,
somebody
I'm legit about it.
You watch.
I actually do watch this every day. He's like part of it, but
do you watch Charles the Idea Guy every day? I mean,
sure. It's really tough, like watching my own stuff or even being logged into my stuff. Now it's easy because we've got management platforms, but every time I open up my computer, it's just client stuff.
I was gonna say, how often do you get served the ads that you put out? because you're placing ads and you're targeting people, and you're getting to. I see you target me. I'm seeing stuff all the time that you've placed and targeted.
Yeah, not very often, because I'm actually in. Like I rarely log into Facebook.com or something. I'm in the Meta Business Suite or, platform manager.
So you're not actually on your own account.
No,
so you really don't see it.
I rarely post. I rarely do anything.
Yeah, right.
And then if
you're doing it all day long for all your clients,
exactly.
so why would you do it?
Exactly.
That's funny.
I don't know, but I get to see cool stuff that you put out, so I don't know.
Yeah. So the other thing that you do beyond running our ad campaigns is you have been the IT guy for us. You have built a whole new server here that's like intense, right? I mean, that was a big switchover. We with the advent of video, it's been really great, and these cameras that we're using right now, that one particularly, they're 12K cameras. These are like big resolution, but tons of storage. And so we had to upgrade literally. I mean, I don't know how much storage we have now. You probably do.
A lot.
But we're
still not enough. It's never enough.
No, but it's like, I don't know, 500 terabytes or something that we have to manage of footage, which is crazy.
Yeah, total. Close to that, like 400, something like that.
Yeah, so and it's growing. So you actually built a whole new backup system for us so that we're more redundant, have more space, it's faster. It was just kind of time.
I don't know. The other one was great. It's just the storage demand's ridiculous. It's like
we just outgrew it.
Cloud storage is awesome, but if you can do your own 3-2-1 strategy and keep yourself triple backed up, and you don't have to pay one of these cloud providers to do it, and it takes forever to get it. Like if you lose 2 terabytes of data and you go to your cloud backup, you got to transfer 2 terabytes of data through Wi-Fi. And we just got fiber, so I mean, we guess we could, but still.
Yeah. But I mean, the technical part of our building here is pretty high end, and we've got a lot of stuff. And you manage all that. You're also your background is mostly in music and sound engineering.
Yeah.
And so you mix all the videos that we do, and are often making music on those. Composing stuff sometimes too. You did the theme song to the MIP podcast. So every time that we hear that play, you played that.
Yeah, we made $25. We made $25 out of it.
$25 of
it's only been like 3 months. But
so what's that mean? Like we MIP has made money because of the viewership that we've had on the podcast
I
on your music.
People are going to Spotify to stream that song as much as they're forced to hear it. By our relentless posting.
But the relentless posting is actually pays, which is a weird new reality of the way that all works. Mm-hmm. So when you were in grade school, I mean, I guess the other question I kind of want to just
this is an interview.
Do you feel it is? It's a do you feel like there's been an advantage for you to grow up with both a mom and a dad who worked on? I mean, your mom and dad,
she's incredible.
Tessa and I wrote and produced The Basket. Yeah. And your mom's had an incredible career as a production designer.
Oh, big time.
Set builder.
Art direct, all
you grew up on sets that we were both on, sometimes not even together, usually.
Yeah,
how is that?
Too.
And your uncle Jim and all the stuff he's done. How is that do you think that's been an advantage for you? It's a little bit like John Stockton's kids. It's easier for them to play basketball because they grew up around it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, the biggest thing, honestly, like I've seen clips surfacing this last year or so, and I was talking to Leslie about it, and it's like the balance between pulling your kids out of school to see the real world and then getting an education or something. Both her and I got pulled out enough to where we were doing something legitimate, but it's like getting to a real world experience. It's not just like sick day all the time, but there's definitely a fine balance. Like we're both super honest about just humanity or whatever, psychology and stuff. So, I think for me though, I got a great balance of just everyday school and routine and stuff, but being put in front of big, moving sets and things like that is super unique. And actually there's a story you had way back of me like getting hit in the face with a baseball or something.
Oh, it was actually you hitting somebody in the face with a baseball.
Okay.
And so you were a really good athlete when you were little, and Ichiro was your favorite player.
Yeah, totally.
And it's, by the way, he's going in the Hall of Fame. I think
know.
you and I should make a pact right now that we're going to Cooperstown.
I'd say Ichiro probably is my favorite player.
We should go see him. Get inducted in the Hall of Fame. I've never been to Cooperstown.
That's a
You want
tough
to go?
one to say. I think he is.
He is. No, he's in. He's
No,
in.
he is. I'm trying to say, is he my favorite player of all time?
I see. Is he?
Probably. I can't think of anyone else. Back in
You
Little
loved-
League, I
dude,
did the
you wore his
stance.
number. You would do the stance.
I went out.
You would do his
7.
little-
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah,
but when
you're
you
right.
were like even 1.5, you liked him. I remember at 2 years old, you could hit like crazy. You had this like awesome hand-eye coordination. You could hit baseball. And our friend my friend Matt Clark, who was a cinematographer and worked with Mom and I and Uncle Jim, and phenomenal in Seattle. He's just done big stuff, and Matt's incredible. He was in our backyard and kind of came over to see you, and he loved you. He would always like, I want to go see Nick. So he'd hang out with you, and he started pitching to you, and he was throwing you a ball, and I'm like, Matt, you got to back up. This kid can hit.
Oh, like,
and you're like, he's like, he's little. He can't do anything.
We've got some cousins
you
that
kind
do
of
the
better
same thing.
back up. I just think. And he's like, oh, he'll be fine. He tosses it to you, and you freaking smacked that ball and hit him square in the eye, which is his livelihood.
Wiffle ball, right? Wiffle ball.
It was like a wiffle ball, but it was
Half
hard
and half.
plastic.
Oh, I know what you mean.
And you just like, boom, like smacked him in the eye.
There you go.
And I'm like, dude, this kid's got some pop.
Yep.
And
All the nibblocks are like, all my cousins. Well, Grasha, all my cousins do that. I don't know.
You guys
You
are
gotta
all
watch
good.
out
You guys
for-
are good athletes.
Yeah. Well, the baseball in particular. I don't know. Where did that come from? Why do we all love and play? Is it just Spokane or something?
I mean, their mom, Kathy, was an all-city softball player, for one. Their dad played
that's right.
high school baseball, Kirk at Shadle.
The
So they
Nibblocks,
grew
yeah.
up with both parents playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I love baseball, and your mom's a huge baseball fan, so we always had you
Oh,
playing
yeah.
baseball.
My mom, too. Yeah.
the
go to
other
the Mariners
great
game.
moment of you, of shame, when you were a kid.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Lay it all
Joel
out.
Pinheiro.
Yeah. Lay it all out. I
Yeah.
already told Nick Swoboda about that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, your mom and I took you to a Mariner game. It was Little League Day, and you had your like Spokane U Sports jersey on, you know, and you were all like, you know, I remember it was purple, whatever team you played for.
Yeah,
And
the
like,
Purple People Eaters.
Purple People Eaters.
Excuse me. Yeah,
And
I think
you
that's right.
Wanted to get Felix Hernandez. Was it Felix? No. I can't remember the picture.
No, it was Felix Hernandez.
No, it wasn't Felix. No, it
he's
wasn't.
later.
It was before.
There's Joel Pinheiro.
It was
Freddie
Garcia. Dude,
Boom.
you got Freddie. You were like, I love Freddie Garcia. I want to get his autograph.
Yeah, I
I want to
know.
get Freddie Garcia's autograph. And Freddie was down there. And so we take you down to get Freddie. And Joel Pinheiro is in line. He was a very good pitcher for a long time.
Yep.
At Mariners and beyond. He comes up
Till
next.
that day.
Yeah, he comes up first, and then Freddie was behind him. And you're just like, all you can do is stare at Freddie. And then Pinheiro comes up, takes the ball from you, and you pull it back. And you're like, no, I want him to sign it.
I have to relive that.
And
every
Joel
time.
Pinheiro, a major league pitcher, starting pitcher, looks at your mom and I and just like, this little jerk. And oh my God, mom was so mad. She's like, I'm so sorry. Can you please sign? He signed it anyway. And he started like, yeah, whatever. And we were so mad at you. You're like, no, we're going back. You're not going to get to sign Freddie. So we took you back to the seat. And you're like, no, I want Freddie. We're like, we're not going down there. You got to go by yourself.
You know, I've
And
never.
you did. You went all the way down. You're like,
Oh,
fine.
okay,
And
good. I
you
never
went
heard
down
this.
by yourself and you had Freddie sign. You came back to your seat. The
Wait, so
shaming of
I
Joel
thought I
Pinheiro.
didn't get that ball signed.
No,
I
you
ended
did.
up getting it
Yeah,
signed.
but we didn't help you.
What kind of
We were
lesson
like,
is that?
We're out of
Oh,
here.
okay.
And you're like, no, I don't want to leave. And we're like, get it yourself, kid. And you did.
Dang. Yeah, I wonder. I'm like, I've never really been like a super fan of anyone. I guess I was. You just kind of like took that from me when I was.
Yeah. I stole the moment.
Why don't I get into like big stars like most?
After that.
Okay. Yeah, I did. It was
Until Freddie Garcia.
It was
Joel
Freddie
Pinheiro.
Garcia, unfortunately. Yeah, and then 2 years later, I'm on like Randy Johnson or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was a cool. I always remember that being a very big moment in your life. No, you were fearless. You were like, I'll go do it. Fine, I don't care. You know, you were kind of always fearless.
You guys put me in those situations. That's another thing. I mean, just I got thrown into a lot of cool stuff. I wanted to. Like I sang the national anthem at Gonzaga senior night. I don't know what the heck I was looking back. That would be so scary. I remember being in that room like I got it. Like I totally got it. No questions asked. Then literally 30 seconds before we went on, I legitimately was like, can I leave? Like, do I actually have to go out? Like the pressure, I killed it.
You
I did
killed
great.
it.
I didn't hear anything bad about it. I did well.
So this is on stage.
But I would never do it now.
This is Adam
So
Morrison.
sketchy.
Yeah, it was Adam.
Anything can go wrong. It's terrible.
It was Adam Morrison's senior night. He was a junior, but it was his last game of the kennel. And I don't know how this happened. They knew you could sing or something. And I don't remember me going, hey, my kid should sing. Somebody told them that you could sing.
I was singing around. I
don't know. You were
singing.
Yeah. And so they said, would you sing it? And then they gave you the senior night deal. They'd auditioned you, I think.
Yeah.
And
no, I had to go through
You had to go also, process of auditioning. And then they're like, we're picking him. And I just remember thinking, both Mom and I were like, what are we doing? Like we are putting way more. Like,
you guys probably looking back, that's what I'm thinking.
And then the day of, we're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like this is, the kennel
pressure
is your whole hometown, your family, everybody. Like that's the big deal growing up here, and to sing the national anthem a cappella in front of them at 9 years old was suicide.
It's a really good honor though. Like Mom just told me, like we watched. We watched a bunch of history stuff, and I can't remember what year is it. It's probably like 2008, 2006 or something.
It was probably 2005.
2005. So I mean, we're at war at the time. So I watched a bunch of footage of what's going on, and I really she helped me get into like a really serious place of like, this isn't to be good at singing. This isn't to put on a show. This is to honor.
It was a patriotic moment. Yeah,
it was instantly. Now that's why I was able to do it. Sometimes I'm like, how the hell did I go out in front of that many people at 10 years old?
I remember saying,
or half the stuff.
Listen to the words you're singing.
Yeah, and focus on what it means. Instantly, I went from like, oh shit, like I got to perform. Everyone's looking at me to like, I'm doing my job. I don't care. Like this is means
for
something.
The country. It's for,
that is something.
That's true.
Really.
Well, the other thing I remember is we were both backstage. We had a green room. They have a little green room that you're in, right? And we were both there.
Yeah, that's why I got nervous.
Well, we have season tickets, so we've had season tickets forever. And so Mom was in there with me, and we're both telling you stuff like how to be ready and hey, do this thing, and we're both telling you way too much information. And I remember you both going, you looked at Mom and I and you went, hey, I got this. Like, shut up. And we both went, okay, he's got this. I left.
Maybe I was channeling that. I don't know where
I left. Mom went with you because they could let one person go, and she went with you and stood by you while you sang it. And I remember all I was saying, the only thing I remember saying to you was, you know what? You're 9 years old. They're going to think you're cute. You might as well kill it.
Yeah, but the upside, like I've never heard about it since.
Good.
Not one time. But if I would have messed up, I wouldn't have heard of anything since for the next 10 years.
Well, no, we actually had it filmed, and I have, for the life of me, not been able to find it. The guys in the truck, we knew, Mike Southworth and Jim, your uncle, the guys that did the game on ESPN, I think, recorded it.
And so I think I saw that at some point.
Yeah, you saw it at some point.
Probably building that new server, deleted it.
I gotta find it. Oh God, I hope
probably
not.
Erased
it was amazing.
Being a smart man.
But you and Adam Morrison came up to you and Mark Few afterwards, and they both shook your hand and said, "Congratulations! Thank you for doing it." Because you wore the stash. You wore. I
know, which I now I don't know if that was a great look, but. Honestly, it was awesome. I mean, it was honoring both of my favorite things at the time.
You loved Morrison.
That's super.
No, and
ballsy,
and you just killed it. I remember when you finished it. I remember three things. One, watching you stand there with all those students. It felt like the student standing in front of the tank at Tiananmen Square. Like you were like, and I was like, what did we do to this kid? Why are we putting,
that's what it felt like.
Why did we put under this pressure? And then once you got done, you walked back to our seats because we're right there. So you just walked back and you walked up. And as you walked back to the seats, everybody stood up. a standing
Yeah.
ovation as you walk back. They all stood up, and you got to walk through that, and it was
That
cool.
was cool. I just sang it straight. I think I like when people do that. They just come out and sing it straight.
Yeah, and not too many.
Although, I mean, sometimes
You had a
kill
couple.
it. I don't know. I'm not back then. Sometimes people kill it.
No, I know. I like it fast. Well, we have had to endure so many of those. Poor Mark Few. How many times has that guy had to listen to the national anthem? Thousands.
Although that's a good moment.
It's a
You
good
never get
moment.
those, like, especially when the
it's the
color
quiet
guard comes
moment.
out.
Yeah,
You don't
no,
get
it's
that
cool.
where everyone has to be still in that moment.
Yep.
That's
Well,
the best part of every concert.
Yeah,
Well,
it's true.
all right,
It is a quiet kind of
thrash rock. People are gonna get back on me for that. But yeah,
So the day after you sang that, I don't know if you even know this, I got a call from Mike Roth, who was the athletic director at Gonzaga and helped build all that dynasty and the kennel and everything.
old
He was the
kennel, new
athletic
kennel?
director. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He retired a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Chris Stanford's now
Chris
the athletic
Stanford.
director, but
He was on the
Mike
podcast.
he was on the podcast. Mike was, and I need to get Mike on because he'd be phenomenal.
Oh,
He called me
love to hear.
and
this
he
stuff.
just said, I just want you to know that in the 20 years I've been athletic director, that is the best response to a national anthem we've ever had.
I think it's because I put it all on the line. If
No,
you
you
come
killed
out
it, dude.
wearing a mustache and you're 7 years old,
I know.
and it's Adam, I'm wearing Morrison's jersey too. I
Yeah,
think.
you
I'm
were.
just
Oh, yeah,
basically
you
a
were.
little Morrison.
You were a little Morrison, but
If I
you
mess
killed
that
it.
up, that's a horrible. What a gamble on me.
Well,
Thank God I
it
came
It
through.
wasn't your fault. It was your parents'
The whole
mistake.
everything I
But it
play.
gave you. It's
no
given
one
you a
saw
confidence,
that.
don't
No.
you think? Like you.
Yeah.
You're after you do that.
Totally.
You're like, I can do it. Do you need a morning superpower? Dutch Bros has your back. From a classic Americano, my personal favorite, to a wild, whipped-up Rebel energy drink, they've got what you need to conquer the day, and maybe even your inbox. Swing by your local Dutch Bros today and level up. Anything.
Like that's most of all of my life now. It's like, dang, I did all that when I was young, or I put myself in that place. Like, how did that happen? When you're young, you have the ability. People think you're cute, and then people think you have potential, or whatever it is. But I'm so grateful. Like, life gets easier if you do it all when you're young. Now you just like wake up like, I can't believe I did that cool stuff. And now
But
I
you
can stand on it.
also knew the talent you have as a singer.
Oh, I don't
You
know. I
can
knew I
sing,
was
dude.
making $5 at every one of your parties growing up to
Singing
to
songs.
sing for
But
different.
You really have that.
groups of people.
You really have that talent. I mean, our family's a musical family.
Yeah.
Mom's side is really musical. My side's really musical.
Dude, I don't think there's.
I
a
honestly
person that
think,
can't
and
play.
I know I'm your dad, but I think you're the most talented singer that we have in our family, which is saying a lot. I mean, really.
I don't
And
know.
your sister's super good, and your
I don't
uncle's
know.
really good.
Everybody
Dude,
loves to
I
do
mean,
it, and that's rare. Like,
It is
maybe
rare.
growing up, we all had to be coerced into
Karaoke
it.
at our family is crazy.
Like, think about it. I mean, looking back, both grandparents on both sides, I'm sitting there like with my cousins, all of them like, this is okay. Like, almost, why do we have to be here? Now I know we're starting to transition to the point where, like, I'm so grateful. Like, we can bust out a song, or I don't even care if we're bad. Like, we want to do it.
You're
That's
not
cool.
bad, though.
That's super rare that like someone our age would say, let's not like go do this mainstream thing. Like, let's go sing like a Johnny Cash song for 20 minutes on the couch. I can't play a lick. My cousins are way better musicians. I can hold a tune, but I mean, maybe who's better?
Hold a
Who's better?
tune.
Us in harmony, just for fun.
Yeah.
Nobody will see that, but it's super cool.
Well, and,
it's rare.
and you're right. So
Kudos to my grandparents.
your
for both sides.
your great grandfather Dutch Groshoff.
Mhm.
It was Bing Crosby's best friend and played
Yeah.
in his band, and one of the like
Huge.
most I don't know, historic musicians in this town ever.
Second to the Swoboda family.
Well,
band.
I don't know. But he actually played in my mom and dad's band.
Who, Dutch?
Dutch.
Oh, that's right.
Dutch
I knew
played,
that.
and
Yeah.
my dad played in his band. So they grew up together.
There's
Dutch,
a newspaper. Grandma's got it. There's a newspaper. It's got both of them on there, and they're talking about
No way.
different things they're doing in the same week. And
Get
she
outta
found
here.
it in an
Is
old
that right?
newspaper, and she's got
But
it.
they played together
Super
for
cool.
years before your mom and I met, obviously, and then you kind of came
It
out
is
of you
weird.
and Emma
Yeah.
and the cousins have all kind of come out of that tree, right? But you and Emma specifically have both sides, and you've got the
Right.
Groshoff side super
Yeah,
talented.
they were kind
and the
of
Swoboda
both
side, it's
families. They
crazy.
were kind of friends, knew each
Yeah,
other,
of
whatever.
course they knew each other.
Romeo and Juliet.
I don't know,
Yeah.
something like that. But I don't know. And then you continued it with the music, right? So
I'm not the only
when do
one,
you
but yeah.
remember though you've also used technology in your world. When did you? I just remember your closet when you were like 13 or 14. You turned it into
Studio.
studio. You turned it into a
Let's-
recording booth.
Are we gonna? I mean, you're out. I'm out.
Oh yeah, you bet. Let's go.
You gonna pour me up?
I'll pour you one.
All right.
You tell the story.
Yeah. Where were we?
Well, you were like 14. When do you remember making
Well,
music?
all right. I remember. I mean, honestly, one of the coolest things, going back to what you said, like one of the coolest things that I remember growing up was recording with Mike Sacamano. And if you're from
man, what a
Spokane,
talent.
you're gonna know. Well, I mean, if you know, you know. But Mike Sacamano is
Amazing
like
guy.
he was the guy. Oh, there's other people too, like for sure that I was inspired by. Yeah, like Dave Siebert. Like there's a bunch of people. But
Joe Brash.
Joe Brash. That's who I'm thinking of. That's
you
the other
you
name I was
recorded
thinking.
with Joe
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
They had you record some stuff
And
way
that
back
was so
when you were a kid. You were amazing.
Don Carone. I remember
Don Carone.
singing, like, actually, this is my first memory in a studio, is I'm in Don's studio, and
Don is the composer of The Basket.
He's-
and
yeah.
and writer of the screenplay with us.
I think this
Amazing
was like for an
talent.
opera. It was like Chicago.
He wrote an opera called Victor.
Damn, did it ever come out?
He pitched it wanted it to be a Broadway thing, and he had you sing all the tracks to pitch it. and you were
want
young.
those, but was that tape? You're not getting those.
Oh, Don's got it. We'll find
DVD
it.
tapes
He
or
was.
something.
I think you were about that same age. Nah, maybe a little older. 10, 12, something like that.
I was like probably 8 or 9.
Yeah, maybe
I was
you were
super young.
Maybe you were.
I was like 8 or 9, because by 10, like 8 or 9. So I remember singing, like, I remember the studio, and it was darkly lit. He's got like wood piano,
Don's
got the
house.
mics.
Yeah.
This is house, but
It
I
was a-
see it as a studio.
No, it was the studio. He had a lot of gear in there.
And back then, yeah, he had the whole deal.
Yeah.
So I was wowed by that. I've always been in space and stuff. I think it's that age thing. Like there's a ton of sci-fi coming out. I don't know. She watched like Star Trek in
We
my
both
stomach,
did, yeah.
which I'm not. I've never been too into Star Trek. But I mean, it's weird though. Like I remember him singing, and then I'm singing, and then Mom's like hold out a note or something. And I end up holding out like a 2-minute note or something. He's like, "How long can you hold this note out for this big opera build up?"
yeah.
I remember him being like, "There's like this is incredible." Like
How long you could hold it? You could.
I'm like, what is going on? Like I'm supposed to stand here and like yell into this microphone. Like I can do it, but it's a weird experience. And then you know,
you were a bit of a puppet. We'd be like, "Try this, Nick." Oh my god.
it was so cool
can do
though.
it.
I mean, by 10, I mean I've worked with
You were
cameras and audio and whatever, but
and comfortable.
comfortable. Also, just like it's really hard for people, especially people like I try and help to get into this business or give advice or audio advice, whatever it is. Like it's really tough to get comfortable in certain situations, because when you're shooting stuff or you're filming or you're recording, you could be night and day different. Literally, I mean, sometimes it's at night and it's dark. Like you've got to be able to hang out with this organization or this person or an artist or be a part of this, you know, whatever. And to jump into that is really, really hard. that's my biggest advantage,
It's
and
easy.
I'm super grateful for it. I mean,
Yeah.
like there's not much
It's not
else
much
you
different
need.
than a Tom Brady
That and being
being
humble.
like completely calm during a Super Bowl. You know,
Yeah.
it's like just easy. It's just kind of how he's
Yep.
wired.
Yeah,
you know?
or like Eli I don't know if that's fair to say, but like you're already there in that
Right, 'cause
scene.
you
You
grew up
know
with
the
it.
words to
Yeah.
say. I see people get everything right, and then certain things are just like you haven't been doing this for a while, or like, you know, or just, you know, certain timid motions or something, which is good. You want to be humble, but especially on set
But
or something.
confident.
But it's just weird. Like if you know the language and you know the right thing to say, you could be the worst at what you do and kill it, and then and vice versa too. So it's funny.
Well, and then from there, you ended up also getting the chance to go to Hollywood, and
Yep.
we had you guys audition, Emma and you both, and
That's right,
you did kind of
Vegas.
this like, you know, world championship stuff with kids, and you kind of you were talented, so we were like, what? How do we take advantage of this?
Killed
And
that
you
saying "God
both-
Bless America" in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and whoever picked that song for me, I was a shoo-in. I mean, 2008. God Bless America, North Idaho. There's no
Can't go
way
wrong.
they weren't flying me to LA. Good Lord. That's all you needed.
So you and Emma both did really well in this competition. She was
Salute.
littler, and salute, and then you went to LA and kind of lived there for a while with mom. Like we're just like, these guys should audition, but the only way it worked back then. Today you can audition on your phone.
It was
and you
like
can get
Star
stuff.
Search type.
It was a little bit, and it'd be like, but you guys stayed down there.
It was
I
World
came and visited all the
Championships
time.
of Performing Arts.
It was.
And they probably still do it.
I probably still do it, but you guys lived there, and you would basically every day go audition somewhere.
Yeah,
and
so
Emma would audition,
yeah.
and you would audition, and she got auditions with M. Night Shyamalan, and that girl could act, still can. At
I
age,
know.
she was
Well, she turned down some stuff. I don't know.
We said no to one that was
whether
a
or
horror
not
movie
you
that was
want to
like,
do it is a different
yeah,
story.
that's true. I think
I'm
it's
so grateful that my path went the way it did. Because
Yes.
like just for now, I don't ever talk about this stuff, and since we're talking about it, like so
it was
I
child
went
actor
down,
stuff.
I did the World Championship Performing Art. I got like they're giving out gold medals.
You
I
killed
don't know
it.
what they're made out of. If they're gold, I'm gonna melt them. But you know, I did really well, and then I got to basically, if you do really well, you get to just pick
Your agent,
who's your agent,
Yeah,
or
and your
you know, you
manager.
get whatever. I got like I put people on my list based on like different people I liked at the time, Nickelodeon stars, Disney stars, pop music stars. And so they just kind of like gave me the keys to, you
Audition.
know, to get in front of these people. The first pick I had, we signed, it was awesome. And then they just asked me like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be on? And honestly started making it happen.
So is that Juliet Green?
Well, yeah, there's Juliet Green and there's Buckwild Talent, which is now went to Matt Jackson. I ended up
Matt
not
Jackson, that's
re-signing.
right. These are pretty big. So in the world of down there at the time, these guys are really. Juliet was a phenomenal manager. Managed a lot of really good talent of every age. She was really cool.
Disney stars,
just a
Nickelodeon
lot. And then
stars.
Matt Jackson was an agent, and so you guys were both Emma and you both were getting opportunities, big time.
Yeah, and I mean,
And we had the little
I was
house
on a TV show.
We'd go
and-
stay.
and
I'd always come
whatever.
down like on weekends and stay, and it was cool.
Yeah, we had a little pool and whatnot.
Little Burbank.
It was cool.
We
I mean,
rented a house.
I probably, I don't know if why I was compelled or whatnot. Because I mean, I don't know. I was on. You probably just tell them the TV show. We've already talked about it 5 times today. I never like to talk about.
Well,
it.
yeah, okay. I'll set it up so you
But
don't have
since
to introduce
5
it. But
people
you got the
freaking mentioned
opportunity
it
to
today. I like it,
audition
but-
for and landed a recurring role on Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Yep.
which turned out to be. I remember you loved that show, so it was on for a couple of years, and it was
That was
probably
my
your
favorite show.
It was your
That's
favorite
why
show.
I picked it. Like they put me in front of these agent talent managers and I signed and they're like, what do you want to be? Like, what do you want to be in? Like, I'm like, honestly, like I think they signed me because I sang music.
Yes,
But
you had the
they
Disney
had
kid
like a
thing.
vision for me. I was into like, I was super young. I was into like wasn't a country. I was into Rascal Flats and like, but like rock and like anything. Like mom, I remember the cassette tapes of everything. Led Zeppelin, like every single whatever that's not sing, country, but it's not. And then you had the jazz. I'm listening to jazz all the time. So I'm walking up to these guys. Like, I want to record, I want to be the next star, like music star. I love music.
Yeah, you were kind of on the Justin Timberlake Disney route.
Yeah, and which I didn't really know, but they're like, they brought the whole office in to come listen to me sing. Like, this kid can sing or whatever. I'm like, great, I'm going to do this. But they're like, no, first you got to act in this, just like you're saying, you got to act in this or you got to do that. And then, and I'm like, no, can I just like make an album? And they're like, no, like a child star, like you're not Michael Jackson. Basically, like, you know, like that doesn't happen or whatever. Well,
this is pre-Bieber.
Well, yeah, that's probably the same year.
Next year.
Well, then they probably ate it because I had the same long hair and whatever. But I don't know if that whole situation was so cool. Avatar. Was
a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah,
you went to the Nickelodeon studios?
Yeah, I recorded in Nickelodeon studios, Salami Studios. I got to see the only thing that really mattered for me, I got to read the scripts before I came out. And there's some stuff in those scripts that never surfaced and hasn't come out and answers a lot of questions for people. Obviously, I don't have the scripts, but I have it in my mind. And
like what?
I can't say it. I don't think I can say it. I don't think
Why?
Do I have an NDA? I don't know. I don't remember what I signed.
I don't know.
I'm not going to because I was 10 years old.
You better not.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
In the Avatar episodes?
No, also, I don't want to ruin it for the Avatar fandom and stuff because they are releasing this stuff now. Like, there's new series and stuff.
Oh, wow.
But there was
stuff
a
that
plan.
that got filmed or recorded but never got used.
And at the time, still now, it's the #1 stream show, just crazy. But at the time, it was like, was season 4 was going to come out, season 4. But they ended up stopping for a few years. And I didn't want to go into.
And you were at the end of the series, right? And you played. You played. It was going to be
the opening. I've done lines in a couple seasons, but my main ones were season 3, the last season. But I really wanted them to put out the 4th season because I was such a big fan. But they never did, and I really didn't want to do more than that. I honestly
did like 6 episodes.
Just wanted to do that. I don't know.
I think
I gotta check my IMDb.
I think it was 6 episodes, and you played the Duke.
Yeah, I did some behind the. Well, I don't know. I did some behind the scenes lines or some uncredited lines for some other characters. One being the main character. I don't know if they used it though. Otherwise, I have to say it. It's Aang, obviously, but I don't know it. I just remember
they had to read.
They're
some
like,
stuff.
"Can you do it? Like, we got some lines to sub out. Like, do you have he's got a similar enough voice. Like, let's just have him.
Like when he was a kid or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, let's just have him do it.
Wow.
But I don't remember where they are. So I had a decent time recording. Some of them was hard. Like laughing is really tough. I remember them just being like, laugh. I'm like, what? Like, think of something funny and laugh. 1, 2, 3, go, laugh. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm trying. And it came out like my nose the first time. So it's funny, but that's all I wanted to do. Be on a cool TV show that I loved. I always kind of thought sets would be, I always grew up on sets. I always thought that's what would be around. I never thought like, hey, if you stop doing this role, you might not like, or if you stop seeking things. I almost figured like I could just move home and still get the same roles. And like, lo and behold, I'm so much happier behind the camera.
That it didn't
this
keep
is
going.
fun and all, but dude, I like this. But
but you were, so the Duke was the character that sat on the shoulders of
Pipsqueak. Yeah, that's my famous line.
Yeah. So you did like 6 episodes.
It gets me in places. I'm not gonna like today. It's like we're in a boring meeting or whatever, and you mention Avatar, and I love the fans.
We had a
like,
group of Gonzaga students in today
people
to kind of check out our stuff, and they were all fans of that show when they were kids.
Yeah,
and they all instantly knew the Duke, and they knew you, and they were
if I have to, like that's a benefit, I guess. If I have to like humanize something, I don't know. I've never mentioned it. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I don't know.
But the other cool part about it was that you did get paid pretty decent.
Yeah.
And then
to live down there, especially.
And then they take that money, most of it, and they put it away.
Let's talk about this. That's the whole reason I brought this up.
This is pretty cool. They put the money away till you're 18 because they don't, which I think is a great thing to do. So the parents can't get it, nobody can get it, and then funny it's yours, not ours.
It's Josh from Drake and Josh. He came out recently. Not to cut you off, but he came out recently. Like you get residual. Like talking to another podcaster, and he's like, "You get residuals?" Like child stars weren't allowed to get residuals. Like this is the year after when I started is the year after they started giving kids residuals. So that Coogan program is killer. So like
the Coogan program,
the star of Drake and Josh isn't getting paid at all for Drake and Josh, and I'm getting checks for like a few lines. It's like I don't think that's right. So, but the Coogan thing saved my life. Do tell.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get to 18, and I remember and we forgot about it, and so it sits there 18, 19,
well, no, I've
20.
been seeking it, to be honest.
You were
I've been calling.
Yeah,
they
you
said
had been
it doesn't
calling.
exist. I went through every
and you
number.
were 24 or something like that, 24, 25, something like that. Yeah. And I get a call from Screen Actors Guild, and I'm like, I wonder if there's some project that I thought it was something with the basket or some movie project that I had worked on. Because I'd worked with SAG and hired SAG actors and stuff. I'm like, what are they calling? They're like, yeah, Nicholas Lawrence Swoboda. I'm like, yeah, he's my son. Why? Well, we need to talk to him. I'm like, oh, okay. About his Coogan account. I'm like, oh, absolutely. So then I had him call you, and you're 24 or 5. So that money had sat there for 15 years building interest. Dude. And you were wanting to buy a house.
It couldn't have been a better time. I'm in my apartment.
I remember you calling me like, Dad, I have money to buy a house. I can put a down payment on a house.
It was crazy. So wild. Yeah, I remember like Leslie and I talking about moving and this and that. Decent apartment complex, but not really. Like things, whatever. Her car window got smashed.
Yeah, you were ready to be in a house. You need to be in a house.
I was ready. Like I was trying to do anything to get out of that apartment situation. I looked at my bank like through the years or whatever. I'm like, I think I paid them like $35,000 to live on this earth, and if I could avoid that at any possible way, that was the move. Right. But Leslie and I just jumped. Like I got that call, and they told me how much, and the girl's like, hey, like I think you want to hear about this. We've got a considerable amount of money for you. And they're like, it's not the hugest amount of money. No, but she's like, we got like $25,000 for you. And like, it's been sitting here, and we've been trying to find you for 10 years. And I'm like, I've been trying to find you. I bet it's because I started that month, I started filling stuff out and seeking stuff. Wonder if I could have got more by now.
I don't know. Those are pretty locked in. They're pretty dialed.
I was so stoked. I jumped on the bed with Leslie. I'm like, we're moving. We're getting out of here. Like,
and you did.
That
you got
was
a house
like the moment I knew it.
Interest rates were good back then, and you still get some checks, which is cool.
No, totally. Yeah, I mean,
it's great. I mean,
a little bit here and there.
Well, because they'll re-release it.
It's the number 1 stream show on Netflix, and with the writer's strike, some certain things or whatever it was, I get more and more frequently now.
That's right. The writer's strike helped you.
Helped me, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. There's like no way I could live off this. But if I already had, I don't know.
It's been a nice boom.
Yeah, it's so cool.
But it's something you did when you were like 8, 10 years old. It turns into.
That's what I mean. Like,
so cool.
I'm so glad I did that stuff. But you guys are the reason that I did it, and I'm like,
Mom's really super smart.
Grateful.
Your mom was really, really smart about all that stuff. Yeah, so the other thing that happened out of that was just you did start making your own albums.
Yeah.
In your bedroom, right?
Is this getting long, Zach?
No, it's good.
All right. I don't know. I've always been on the other side.
No, it's good. But I remember you made an album when you were 16. And and it was good.
Yeah, I was putting covers out and stuff on YouTube to
They're still there.
I don't know. Girls.
They're still there, right?
Like I was putting music out. I'm like, why did I do that? I don't know. I mean, it was the thing to do at the time. Like people were starting to put covers out on YouTube. Yeah, Justin Bieber, that's how he got famous stuff too.
Right. That's right.
I did super well. Like I got like overall in like a year period or something, I got 1 million views, which is cool.
Amazing.
Just in a bedroom or whatever. But honestly, that's where my life took a weird a awesome turn. I don't know. I've all like the microphone stuff we were talking about. I've always been around that type of stuff, but I started posting these videos and I got like what I wanted from it, but like it was a lot of work to post for views every day. I didn't quite see at the time the purpose of it. Like, I don't know. The thing is, I didn't even want to be known. I just thought it was like the thing to do. And
you had all the talent in
cool.
the world to be really, but you have to kind of want that.
It's just like
and
a
you were like
vehicle.
probably wisely didn't want it.
Yeah, I'm like, I really just, I
I've
have
always
camera
thought.
stuff. I just want to use my skills. Like, I had camera stuff and I had audio stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see a trend. I'm like trying to follow it. But honestly, I started like posting, I'm doing it. And people started coming over to my house to record mixtapes.
That's right.
I'm like, I don't even know what a mixtape is. Like, what's a mixtape? And next thing you know, I got, 10 people. I got 10 people in my room. All I needed back then was a mic, a Focusrite interface, a little Scarlett, and a box to sit in that wasn't with some AC sometimes. Like, really, I'm like, whoa. I'm in school, like honestly, skipping class sometimes because I'm like, I have a business. I'm like 16, 15. Like, I'm recording mixtapes.
You're producing, man.
Whatever turned into albums, turned into EPs, or whatever turned into. Then I went to Blackbird in Nashville, the Blackbird Academy.
Right. So that remember in high school, you were like, I'm going to probably go to the Falls.
Air Force Academy is what I really wanted.
You did. You wanted to fly because that's another thing. Your grandma's a phenomenal pilot, and and her husband sometimes. Paul, a decorated Vietnam vet. And you've been flying since you were 2. Their planes, and so you love flying.
I thought
your grandpa, my dad was a pilot
one.
too, and you kind of have that in your family. So you did want to go in the Air Force, and you were thinking about that, and also thinking like, well,
I want to be an aerospace program is what I wanted to be.
Yeah,
I wanted to be
NASA.
like SpaceX stuff.
SpaceX stuff. I know it's not too late,
Oh yeah, I've been talking about
that
stuff.
I mean, maybe you could do anything, but
I'm not going.
But you were like, well,
maybe.
I think I'll. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, and then you got the chance. You won I just remember this. There was a girl at prep that was in choir with you, whose mom won a really great.
It's Casey Mills. Yeah?
Casey,
she was the girl.
Was it Casey Mills?
Yeah.
Her mom won a like Children's Miracle Network auction item, which was spend 5 days with the world's best music producer, John McBride, at Blackbird Studios or whatever, John
allegedly.
Allegedly, self-proclaimed, whatever. But
I would say,
and she gave it to her daughter for Christmas or whatever. And her daughter goes, "Mom, I don't really want to go. Like, this isn't my thing. We need to give this to Nick." So she
set me up for life.
She just came up to you. How did that happen?
Yeah, seriously, I think it was that exactly. It's just like, this isn't exactly it. I was in the choir program at Gonzaga Prep. I also frequented the back control mixing board in the control room in the back of
with Sean Kane, the great Sean Kane.
Yeah, which he's another. I would love to reach out to Sean Kane. To
do it. He's
that man set me up for everything.
He did.
He
well. Saw you, the talent.
He was the only person.
He was great. He believed in you.
He's got a unique mind because he's the only one to this day that's kind of. I do all of this stuff. Like, this podcast is probably hodgepodge. This is probably tough to weave, but I don't really talk that much about everything going on. He's like a really cool guy that knows how to like grab your talents and sees them and sees you and really your vision or your wrongs where you won't even know. Like, this guy saw talented. That. So I mean, he gave me time, and I'm missing school and stuff. I didn't miss school when he's like, you can spend like lunch in. Yeah, this is awesome. Spend lunch with like 5 dudes recording music in the school on my laptop, on his laptop, like every day. And I mean, sometimes we were recording, sometimes we were just like freestyling and writing riffs and like doing cool stuff. Honestly, sometimes harmonies, whatever.
Or rap.
No, yeah. Back in the day, we would freestyle rap every single day at lunch.
You got really good at that.
Once I sharpen my sword again, sometimes I realize I still got it. Like, sometimes I can go for 10 minutes, but I got to be...
You want to do it right now?
No, I gotta go. No, it's fine. Give me the headphones.
You can do it. I don't know. Anyway.
I was about to. Whatever. We'll do it at the end.
We'll play some. Zach will drop in some beats.
I'll play in some of Zach's music. Zach's a crazy musician too.
Yeah, I know.
I've got a mix that I have to give Zach.
Here. I mean, we're surrounded.
I've got
by
it on my
musicians
computer. I'm gonna show it to him after this. He's gonna love it.
So you would would play there, and then she just walked up to you one day.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like Casey, her family's the one that generously gifted me this. Yeah, I
Trip
suck
to
at
Nashville.
getting on a point, don't I? Yeah, so really, like because of Sean Kane, in a way, like saying, "Hey, go run the mixing board," or like, "I see you're interested in this." They just knew off rip. They just knew, like, I'm probably the only one that actually wants to even close. Like, it's a unique program. It's a summer camp, and they still have this. I would highly recommend. I almost don't want to flood them too much because it's like. I've been selling this stuff
it's a big deal.
Like, I'm not affiliated or anything, but I've been telling everyone this is like the Blackbird Academy, and that summer program in particular, it's information you can never get enough of. Like, it's live recording, it's, big console recording, 25 mics on a drum kit recording. This is like
in the world's largest sound studio
in the world.
In Nashville.
I mean
more.
They've got 1,400 vintage microphones. It's anything you'd ever touch your hands on in real life. You get experience. You get to see real professionals who record the biggest artists every day of the week do it. And to start, you do it for a week as a summer camp.
Right. And you were there for a week.
Me, that was
you were
huge.
there for a week, and there's like 7-8 kids in this thing, right? Maybe 10. And a lot of them had
like
been
10, 12
gifted
or
in, and they
something.
were like sort of wanted to be there, but whatever. And immediately you already knew who John McBride was because you were watching YouTube videos about all these great mixing artists.
I already knew about Blackbird. I wished I could have. I was already thinking about it. Then they said that, and then I'm like, and then I went.
And then you're sitting there, and your uncle
So cool.
John lives in Nashville, which is cool.
I stayed with them.
So we flew you out.
Some of my best memories.
And John
ever.
would take
staying
you
with my cousin
staying
and
with
my
your cousin,
uncle and aunt,
and they take you.
Those guys,
they were so proud of you.
She knows how to cook food, too. Dude. That's
Southern food. Oh yeah. And so you would go every day to this thing for a week, whatever. And after a while, John is like, you became his teacher's pet. And this is John McBride, whose wife is Martina McBride, whose best friend, John McBride's best friend at the time, was Paul Allen that owned the Seahawks and all kinds of stuff. I mean, he is multiple Grammy winner.
Oh, big.
The biggest sound studio in the world, and he owns the thing. And he's working with you directly.
It's one of the most unique. That's what I'm saying. I'm not affiliated or anything. I couldn't sell them any harder because
you don't need to.
I don't want to put any other audio schools under or anything too, because people can get what they want. But if I'm going to an audio school and I'm not in the studio working with big artists every day, and I could be, that's a huge deal.
Right.
Like,
so you go do this week,
crazy thing,
and then he starts like letting you run the board.
Yeah. I did background vocals for a legitimate artist. That was later.
Is that later? I thought that was then. That week.
No, that wasn't that week.
There was another artist.
We had some fun that week. That's just a fun week.
But he threw you
if you're interested.
But he threw you. I thought it was Jason Aldean. No, he did not. Didn't you sing?
That wasn't John McBride. No, I wish that was. That made a final record. I wasn't in the session.
But he let you sing. There were some background vocals that needed to get done, and they didn't want to do them. And you're like, I'll do it.
Yeah, totally. No, I did do some background
vocals. And you went in for like 40 minutes in the studio.
It was his writer, so I don't know if... Well, he did... I don't know what happened. I gotta check and see like the other vocal, like where is my line from Avatar 2 that at some point I do need to do an inventory of where is this stuff flying around. The MIP intro, I gotta figure
exactly.
out
you gotta track all your music.
Doing.
What I remember is you calling
again.
us and saying that John threw you in the booth and you sang. He had you sing for 40 minutes, and he was like, "You were the most comfortable." How are you so comfortable in this thing? And you're like, I've been doing this for years. Like, kids, you had made your own album, you had your own thing, you were singing all the time.
And nowadays, like, now it makes sense. Like, we've had this conversation for 10 years, and back in the day, it was like, you're gonna record or you're gonna do, like, and now it makes sense because people have got software that looks like hardware, and it's like people are getting mics and, you know, recording podcasts and doing cool stuff. Back in the day, it was like a gamble. Hopefully, and I did intern, but it's like, hopefully you can become the lead engineer in 25 years at a huge studio. That's your biggest bet. And Mark Rubel, who recently passed, another one of my big mentors.
Sweet man.
He's the man.
You ran that school.
Yeah. But, you know, like, he's the one that told me.
Allison Krause's producer, by the way.
Yeah. He's the one that
discovered
told me,
her and won Grammys with her.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably talk like 30 minutes about him, but I don't know. He's one of those guys I actually will get emotional talking about. Him and Sean Kane as well.
But he told you what?
He told me, like, why don't you just do what I did and go record? You're already recording. Because last little tidbit, like, I downloaded all of this pirated software on my MacBook way back in the day, and I recorded on like $100,000 worth of plugins at 14 years old. So I go into the studio. My Uncle Jim yelled at me on set for not coiling a cable right one day when I was 10. So I go to this studio. I know how to coil a cable. I know what an 1176 compressor is, like, for free or whatever. So for me, and nowadays, people do that. People buy a mic. People put their hands on a cord. They know how to, you know, do that. They know how to.
But then they were like, "Who's this kid?"
But it was a cheat code because I go in there using the software version and I act like I know, like I've used the real box because it's a replica in the software of the box. So I'm like, oh, that's a cool 1176 or whatever. So it was really easy. And Blackbird's awesome. Once again, I'm weaving this terrible, but Blackbird's awesome because you also get to work at other studios. Like, you get to go to the most badass studios.
Where'd you go?
Vance Powell's studio. Like, if you look these people up, you get awesome places. Like, all the cool Casey Musgraves. I got invited to a private session with not Casey Musgraves, but see, I'm not like A-list. Like, that's why this is the most interesting person you've never heard of. Otherwise, this would be great. But Casey Musgrave's studio the night before she was there and recorded, and then I worked with her engineer and another person who went to Blackbird. You know, and then the next day, and I got to hear the record that Casey Musgrave did cut live in Pro Tools, live on the board, and another one at Blackbird. You got to listen to I believe it's the only 5.1 copy of Bohemian Rhapsody in Blackbird Studio C. Holy chills on your back.
Mom cry. It was a religious experience.
It was so happy for me to see her cry to music because I'm trying to tell people about this place.
30% of that song I'd never heard before.
I think it is an extended cut or something.
At Dutch Bros, your coffee order matches your personality. Wild, smooth, or just plain interesting. Oat milk, extra shots, caramel drizzle, they make it happen. Find your flavor at Dutch Bros and make every sip interesting.
Or you just can't hear it.
You just can't hear
5.1.
You can't hear it because you're not in that
one
space,
subwoofer.
that studio. And you got to. This is a place that's like Universal Studios.
We'll
like
throw
there
up some
are
photos of Blackbird Studio C.
How many studios?
It's crazy.
How many studios are on that campus? Like, it is a giant facility, and you had the run of the place. You were kind of running all over the place there, and so you ended up going to this week.
Candace and I got to meet a couple people. Gosh, I just cut you off left and right. You're bringing me back. I haven't talked about my life.
You're the guest.
One time,
I know.
I'm
learning
probably.
stuff.
I think you are.
Who are you?
I got to work with the person that runs East West Studios and Capitol record studios in Los Angeles, and just kind of follow them around, hang out. Those two gave me so much confidence. Like that's another thing. Like, here's another cheat code about like the studio industry. First of all, just get in a studio. Like, I don't know if I should share that one. If you book a studio, you can likely work with whoever you like, be next to your favorite, whatever. That one's a tough guarded one. But the other one is, I just went. This won't happen to everyone, never mind. But I just went and I saw these two. I knew they were coming. I knew that.
Knew who they were.
I knew where they were. I knew that they were coming. I think one of them was talking to. I don't know if I was interning at the time. I think one of them was talking to a student or something, or a class or whatever. But I saw them and they were not where they were supposed to be, and no one was helping them. So I ran over and I made it my job to be their like personal chauffeurs around the building. So I'm taking them around, acting like I am a fully employed member of this studio. I'm wearing the Blackbird shirt though. I got the logo. Make it, kid. So, yeah, I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. I've been on sets and whatever since. Right. I'm not shy to just run up and, you're supposed to be in this. We go to Studio C, whatever. They do their thing, and then I take them to the next place. No one says anything. I talk to all the people. Like, I'm like, they're just. I mean, this is a real studio and a classroom. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of trust. This is a real deal facility. Like, you actually, I'm preaching it like everyone can.
Unbelievable.
Can be, you can be in there, but you gotta. It's like, there's a serious professionality that goes into this. Like, I'm not.
There's rules
anyone can
place.
do it, but just like anything, not everyone can just, whatever. So, like, they're happy that I'm doing it at this point. They're like, somebody didn't grab her. Like, that's also how the studio business works. If somebody's order gets messed up for food, like if you've got like a DoorDash order and something shows up wrong for your artist, this is a new level thing, because DoorDash is a thing. This is a thing in the studio that happened to me like a year ago. If the DoorDash order is wrong, you better still get that item. Like, you've got to make it
Well, that's
things
the same
are
thing with
what propel you.
That's LA too. That's Hollywood. Yep. That's the whole thing. It's like, doesn't matter, fix it.
Yep. And
that's our industry. That's our world.
Simple things
Take
like
care of it.
Service industry skills, this and that. If you kill that, sky's the limit. Anybody can learn. You've also got to be really talented.
You do.
But the more you work at something, you get talented. I thought I was talented 10 years ago when I was mixing those YouTube videos. I was so bad, and now I'm really, really good, and I'm happy to say that.
And 10 years from now, you'll be even better.
This I had to work with the same limiter for in the same EQ for 10, 12, 15 years before I got it right. It's fine. I finally got it right.
So basically, you went to this 1 week program. You become John McBride's best friend because he's like your teacher's pad. He throws you in the studio. You're singing with him.
No, I took
and then and then he pulls you aside and he says, "Look, I don't do this for everybody. You're 17 years old." Right?
I'm sorry. You're still at the summer camp.
Yeah, well, because a lot of the stuff you just talked about, you were actually at Blackbird for a year.
Thank you for weaving this.
So he pulls you aside and says, I don't do this with everybody, especially not somebody your age, but I'd like you to basically come to my academy, which is a very prestigious place.
It doesn't have
you were going to go to college. You come home after that thing and you're like, Mom, Dad, I'm not going to college. I'm going to Blackbird. I'm doing this.
Like, you don't
can't
understand.
Talk me out of this. I'm not going to college. And you had to figure it out.
We're going to pay for it anyway.
You're like, why would I spend $200,000? And I could go to this place and we paid something, but we didn't pay $200,000. And we were like, of course you're gonna go.
Help me a lot.
Of course you're going. And so you went and you were there, I don't know, a year, I think, or something. And that experience, not only is it a school that teaches you this industry of producing audio, and you had a musical talent beyond that so that you could be an artist in those places, but you're meeting every day people that are coming in the door. I remember you called me and you're like, Dad, I walked through the door, coming out of class, and it was just me and Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
He's smoking a cigarette or something. I can't remember. I think somebody else was smoking a cigarette. I don't even know if he was. He just came out, talk, whatever. A bunch of big artists. Some of them, it's funny how music goes.
There. You're talking about artists who have their own studio bungalow in that complex. So Peter Frampton,
yeah,
all these people,
that's
and you couldn't,
rare, but yeah,
you couldn't really hang out with them. But you're in that place, and their engineers and producers are there.
Well, that's what I mean. Truly, why engineering music will get you in the door with anything you want ever and anytime, because number one, you can get like, first of all, actually, the knowledge of music, I swear, like the knowledge of sound, frequencies, this and that, like it dispels a lot of things, like the audio terms, and they relate to a lot of different industries and stuff. But you know, it's a real cheat code to get in the studio, because you meet people that are doing creative stuff. People hang out in the studio, like famously, and I got to work with the guy that met Martin Luther King on I believe it's the day he passed, as well as the guy that was with John Lennon the day.
Can you tell me the John Lennon story? Do you know his name?
I don't. They're really cool. Really like I don't want to joke around with that shit, to be honest.
No,
like I don't have all the
joke.
details.
I mean, I can tell you what
I
you
can't
told
remember
me.
the guy's name, and I'll be so frank. I have no clue what his name is.
Right.
There is. I don't know which one is which, and that's not
okay.
cool with me. But
this has been it's been 10 years. It's been a while ago
yeah,
that you were there. So it's like, but I just remember you calling me one day and you said I'm like, who you would meet people every day, and you're like, I don't know, but they worked with the Beatles. I don't know. They worked with John Lennon.
I did.
So this guy worked with pretty much everybody that made anything classic rock, right? So he'd worked with the Rolling Stones. He'd worked with the Beatles. He'd worked with everybody that had been somebody, and he worked with Paul McCartney, and he worked with John Lennon.
Yeah.
And you're
There's
like,
a lot of cool
you're like, Dad, he worked with John Lennon. And the story you told me was he told you that day that he had worked with Lennon, and that he worked.
Yeah.
You're like, so you're working with a guy that had produced John Lennon's albums. And you had sung a John Lennon song, Imagine, as a cover.
Engineering. I believe he's an engineer.
He's an engineer.
And this is at Quad Studios in New York, I believe.
And this is in the 70s, something like that.
Yeah.
75, something like that.
It would have been.
Yeah. And he basically said, I mean, you could tell it. He was with John Lennon, and John Lennon would work.
These are the coolest.
So you call me. All right, I'll tell you what you told me and see if it's true.
Okay.
He said, John would work really long days, like 16-hour days, right? And the Beatles worked really freaking hard, but John was working on his last album, and he basically said, "Hey, John, it's like 2 a.m. It's like, I need to just go walk around for 10 minutes. I need a break." Yeah. They've been working nonstop, and John goes, "I'll go with you." So they walked around New York for a half hour talking about life. And he said, and 2 hours later, John Lennon was dead.
Yeah.
He was the last person to see him, last person to work with him. And he's telling you guys this story. That must have been unbelievable.
I mean, well, and to be honest, I'm going to be super real. I went there because I'm a dude recording mixtapes in my basement, from my mom's basement at 17, 18 years old. Like, honestly, I am such a music nerd and I'm inspired by all these sounds and the textures and who does it and how the hell do they make that sound?
Right.
But I went there because I knew I didn't know enough. I knew I wasn't the coolest person on the block. My fiance to this day is so much better at finding music than me. She knows all the cool bands. I didn't even know who Tame Impala was till her. Like, I didn't know. You still don't know who Tame Impala is. This is awesome. Clip that for Kevin Parker. No, so, I mean, back in the day, that was where I got I knew if I went there and I put myself there, I'd be forced to record live bands and be forced to learn the nitty gritty stuff that's honestly really challenging. XY mic place position with phase and large format consoles, whatever. But even though I did put myself in that difficult thing, I met the coolest people. So like this one dude, Chad, and God, I haven't reached out to Chad in forever, but Chad is sitting there. I am losing my mind because Imagine is one of my favorite songs of all time.
You had sung it as a cover.
I actually sang Imagine in person. I sang it at an event or something, but
you did
this
at a
dude,
concert, yeah.
And that's where I started to learn like my tribe. Like this dude is like, and like certain people that you just like Zach that you know you're always just gonna gel with, but he's just looking over like, no, fuck, like John Lennon. Like he's actually, I've never been so in the moment than with some of these people there when they're just like, no fucking way. Like this is Ken's, like this is the guy that recorded Paul McCartney. Like this is happening right now. That is so cool to be in that moment.
Unbelievable.
It's so cool.
And what did you take away from meeting? And that was just one day. Like you would get this every day.
Dude, this program is ridiculous. You have to love it. You have to know that your word, like I said, I had a cheat code because I already I had the digital version of all this hardware. YouTube. So I'm 17.
And you've watched all these guys that actually taught you.
Yeah, shout out to I'm a Music Mogul. I don't even know how to remember that. This is like me at 15 watching how to use Logic Pro in my basement. I'm a Music Mogul. If you're still out there, you're the fucking man, dude. You're the fucking man. But so I'm watching this shit,
right? Yeah.
And I mean, to this day, like, honestly, I know Waves will not come at me for, like, I had all their pirated software. I buy it now. There's no reason I wouldn't buy it if I didn't, like, steal it first. So, I think I'm a customer.
Well, hey, when you're 18,
want me to keep paying
17,
my bill, and I still have the shitty upgrade plan, whatever. I shouldn't say that. Now they will come at
when
me.
you're 17.
But
you're forgiven.
I had all these downloaded illegal plugins, so I'm getting $1 million sound for the time. I mean, now everyone's got these plugins, but not everyone had access to this gear that I did at 16. So I go to the studio, and this is new, like, at the time. Like, people weren't really doing that at the time, so I go there, like...
They didn't even know.
I know.
The dude who produced John Lennon didn't know what the hell that stuff was.
Yeah.
And you did.
Well, I mean, and he knows the plugins
your technology
and stuff,
bridge.
But for a 16-year-old kid to walk into a major studio and know what almost every single piece of gear is in 2014, 2015 was pretty unheard of at the time. Yeah. But if you're super respectful and you learn your own stuff on YouTube, that's why I shouted out I'm a Music Mogul. I don't even know if he's the best one these days. I would shout out, like, I don't even know if he exists, but these days, you know, I watch a bunch of different creators that are telling good stuff. The audio social scene sucks. Some people are like, Greasy Will is this guy I talk to and I follow. He just roasts different audio people for telling terrible knowledge. So this is also a scene where don't believe everything you hear. But if you do know what you're talking about and, you know, you've given it X amount of years and you're sure, whatever, Blackbird is the way. Like, or just being in these studios, whatever you have to do to be respectful, knowledgeable, and get in these places. The studio also relates you. You will meet people that have nothing to do with music and are huge players in everything.
Well, and the thing you would tell me when you would say basically what they all said. The theme running with all these people that would walk in that studio that had spent a career in this industry. They're like, you can do this. It isn't. I mean, I think what you got out of that more than anything was the confidence to know that I'm hanging with the people that have worked with the best in history, and they're telling you, you know what, you can do this too.
And in John McBride's words, once you hear what it should or could sound like, you can't unhear it, and you have a point to shoot for. It's only for the audio scene, but also in other things.
Everything.
Once you see it, once you hear it, that's why I think audio and sound, the people that have really taken the time to not bullshit around and actually learn what sound does, everything's waves, baby.
Well, and you have an amazing ability because you have so many interests that you are really good in.
But there's something about being young and, you know, like seeing far. And I think a lot of people help me see far. And I think ultimately, I don't know who's talked about this, and maybe I'm the only one that shares the sentiment, but I think finding the furthest point you can shoot for, I just go back to physics, man. I'm a nerd, so it's like, you know, how far, what's your trajectory? How far can you go? this asteroid that's going to hit Earth in let's talk about that too. We got an asteroid in 2030.
Zach, this thing's going to be longer than I thought. So.
No, we're going to be 2 minutes on the topic. I mean, there's no info on it, but this is the stuff Zach wants to hear about. We've had a podcast for 50 episodes.
We've just entered two-part territory.
The only topic that Zach has cared about on any of
he's
the podcasts.
excited right now.
We're aliens or not? No, I'm playing. It's funny.
Too much whiskey. We're done.
I didn't even take a sip.
We should have dinner.
I am trying to actually. I'm fine. It just
no, it's awesome.
I have no concept of time right now, so it's like, is this 4 hours? It's fine if it is. But no, ultimately, like, seriously, if you look at the furthest point and you aim that way, you're going to be way more accurate than me trying to shuffle around in this low realm.
I think we do that on everything
so
we
you
do.
Think as
Every
far as you
project
can.
we build, right, that we work on together is let's go out to that point where everything's awesome and back up to now. And build all this reverse engineer.
Reverse it. Once you know the point and you're closer than anything else will be, just go back. And if you're wrong, adjust course. But if you never do, so many people limit themselves because they don't shoot for that point.
That's right.
If you don't shoot for the moon, if you shoot for the moon, you'll end up among the stars. If you don't, you're going to get dragged back to Earth ripped up in a capsule.
That's right. That's exactly right. So how are you still making music with artists? Are you still selling beats? Are you still like? I literally don't know what you're doing.
No, I know this. Well,
we're
because
so busy.
I'm trying to build this space because acoustic stuff is expensive. Let me give you here you go. Don't get into acoustic building. You gotta know resonance. You gotta know the room modes. You gotta go. Should I go double wall or should I go double panel fiberglass or?
I know you're building studios.
Drywall. Also, this stuff costs money. So, and I'm frugal.
World,
so it's I mean, ultimately, I've been doing this for 15 years. I still get to work on whatever project I want. I've got an awesome online platform that I can mix for X amount of money per song. And
so I'm
really good at relationships, so I got really cool people. I don't know. I've met really cool people that,
who's the
never
coolest
gonna
person
leave
you're
me
working
behind.
with right now that you're excited about?
I got a song to show him right after this.
No, I know, but I mean, yeah, okay, and
that's my answer.
And okay, who else though?
That's my answer.
Okay,
yeah, sure. No, I don't see.
You don't have
it'll
to talk
come
about
out. One's a big person. You
can't say
nobody else in my life. No, nobody even knows.
A lot
who
of the
it
stuff
is.
you work with, you can't say who they are.
I actually, like, I'd like to hype myself up like that, but right now,
you
I
can
actually
talk about who you've worked with in the past.
Yeah, but right now, I actually do have something super cool coming up. I did this like online thing, networking thing with this person, and I never do that stuff. I feel like it's scammy. People just charge you to like network with them. This is a different. I don't want to mention it too much. If I say it, someone will know, but. I got a super cool thing.
That's good.
I don't want to ruin it because
I'm just glad you're still doing music and you're still doing.
I'm talking with somebody that
it's
is
big. You're good.
He knows like more than he's just like keyed in. Like here's this avenue, like from tech to this to like promotion, like audience, like every single thing is all connected, and I don't have to sign away my masters. Let's go.
I just want you to not stop doing the music thing because you're hitting your prime here soon. Now, like some people will say your prime is older. Zach? Some people you say your prime, but on the music,
you said I hit my prime already.
On the music side, no, you're about to hit your prime. Like,
yeah, I am.
Like you don't want to stop that.
Yeah,
I think.
And I'm gonna put out a record that's all about aging and like how time is fleeting.
Oh, cool.
No, I'm not really going to do that. That's what everybody else does.
Oh,
no, I will, though. I'm
dealing with that right now. I mean, that's what I'm realizing. I'm going to be 58 next week, and it's like, whoa, this time is, I mean.
God, it goes fast.
It goes so fast. I'm working with somebody on a project right now we're talking about. I told you a little bit about it. I won't say who it is yet, but there's a cool, entertainment project coming up potentially.
Okay.
And he called me and he's like, you know what? You're really good at what you do. I'm really good at what I do. And I realize that I'm getting older and time's going fast. And we want to, while we're still great, we want to work on that stuff. Well, you are so young. You guys are just
it's funny
just entering it.
You're going to hit.
Hey, I made the basket when I was way older than you. right
I keep
now.
hearing that.
You know,
Although,
I was 30 when we finished the screenplay, probably 33 or 4 when we finished the movie. You're entering a really prime, cool time. So do it. Take advantage of all those things you've worked on, and
I guess
cool.
let's see. You're gonna hit. Well, you're closer to 60 than you're. Let's see.
I am.
I'm closer
Dude,
to.
Thanks for the reminder.
30. I mean,
Thanks.
we're right at those whole numbers.
We are.
Like,
Yeah,
there's something
you're
about 30
2 ways.
and 60.
There's something about
Are those
20,
the two numbers?
There's something about 28 and 58 that makes you go like honestly.
28, 58. We are exactly the 8.
That's
Whoa.
Because I was
That's
last
2 years.
year,
If you're
no,
smart,
this is
you're
so
thinking
funny.
in advance.
This is so funny. Johanna last year, I'm like, oh man. She goes, are you excited for your birthday? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to be 58. It's kind of, there's something about 58. And she goes, you're going to be 57.
Yes.
And I go, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I had a great year,
Yep.
but now here it is. There's something about
Well,
58
whatever, you
that's
got
like,
a free
oh.
year, man. I know. People
I
lose
used
a
it
year.
already. I used it
Yeah.
up. But we are, right? There's something about 58, and you want to do something
Well,
by your time you're 30.
Let's say there's
Let me say
something
this.
about 60 and 30.
There
And
is.
if you're smart, you're thinking about it 58 and 28.
Well, and I promised
that's
myself,
wild. I'm only 28.
all I wanted
That's awesome.
was I promised myself that I would write a screenplay by the time I was 30. I did, and actually made the movie. That's the only thing I ever said. I'm like, by the time I'm 30, I got to write a
That's
screenplay.
so cool.
That was all and I did.
Yeah. I mean,
And you're doing that.
But that is so ballsy for the time. Like now, dude, that is so.
I just think you're in a really cool spot because you are at this crossroads of all these different technologies, right?
Thank you, sir.
You guys are not going to quit.
This is our 50th episode, Zach. Isn't this awesome?
But you really are at you're at a crossroads of understanding what it's like on the video side of things.
Dude, it's stripped. I'm sorry.
on the audio side of things, right? On the digital advertising and marketing side of things.
This is awesome. Just trying to not be distracted. I'm sorry. That was so painful.
Okay, we'll
for
start
me.
over. So you are at this interesting crossroads, and I think you found your
This is
spot
important
there,
for
right?
people.
Like
You're right.
Like we're at the front end of sort of video technology. You're at the front end of an understanding kind of this whole new world of big, high resolution video and how much that affects things. You're at the
Great
front
sound, AI.
You're at the
audio,
front end of
everything.
AI. You use it more than anybody I know in positive ways. You're at the front end of audio technology, of storytelling, of kind of envisioning things and inventions of kind of stuff.
Done it for a certain amount of time. You know, you're going to be the one to be the one to trust and build this stuff.
Is it exciting or scary for you?
Oh, nothing's scary, dude. I don't know.
You're excited.
I don't know.
I think so too.
I mean, nothing
I'm
is scary to me.
I'm 58, but I'm
mean, there's
still
a lot of
excited
things.
about all the stuff that's coming and the technology. And I think people can be really scared of it.
Scared of that, but like scared of every day, like losing their job or the economy.
Yeah.
Or not having a house, or your roof
Not being able to
caving
buy a
in,
house.
or not being able to buy a house. What's the stat for today? 91% of people in Spokane think what?
That they won't be able to afford a house.
91% of Spokane people living in Spokane don't think they're going to be able to afford a house.
To buy a house.
And to buy a house.
That's
The question is, how much do you think that actually is true? Like, where do you think that
well,
number
what I
is?
know is what people think
what can people
becomes
qualify
real.
for?
What people think is what becomes real.
Oh.
And if that is a stat that's there, then that has to get changed
Boy.
around. And so we
Yikes.
one of the cool things we get to do is work on projects that help change the perception of how people look at stuff.
That's
right?
why I'm equally excited.
I know,
every
and I
day.
am too, because that is a campaign we're working on right now to increase the amount of housing we have in Spokane. The homeless problem, the downtown not being great.
Yeah, not
all
even
the
trying to
stuff.
solve that. Just like, let's just build some more places because
Let's
I
build
want to
some
buy.
more
Like, I want to, you know,
places.
let's do
Right.
something.
We
Like,
are
there's just not an
underhoused
option.
in this community by 32,000 units. That means family homes, right?
That means
32,000 families
I don't
have
want
a
to get
house.
political at all. All I'm saying is I'm in the market. Everyone I know is in the market. Everyone's in the market.
Everybody who
that's
works here
right.
is in the market.
91% of people that I talk to are going, yeah, right. No way.
And that's the American dream. And the
Well,
American dream was always, I can buy a house someday. I was able to do that 5 times. You've been able to do that once. Your sister, I don't know. And it's just that very small 3-year gap.
Well, let's
that
just
we
go
got to help change
on this.
We got to help change that.
How many? So we're 32,000 units. 32,000
in Spokane.
30 in Spokane County,
units
county
underbuilt.
or city,
Spokane
county. So we're underbuilt. That means there are this many people. There
Families.
are 30 families or people.
I mean, units.
All right, let's just assume 32,004 people units. Let's say it like that, like families.
Yeah.
So there's that many that are in apartments instead of owning a house.
At least 60,000 people.
Well, oh wow. So does that just mean they have to be in apartments, or there
That means that
so there's no other option than renting for 32,000 people? Can we say that right?
Right. We should be right. If there were 32,000 more units here, we would be a really robust,
We'd
healthy
be on
economy.
like a certain
we'd be where we should
baseline
be.
mark or something like that.
We'd be where we should be.
And then, so
Where
I'm
people
only
can rent
asking
and buy.
this. Okay, cool. Because there was there's like a bill or something, right? That only gets passed every, like what? Like,
Yeah, it's the Growth Management Act that gets dealt with every 20 years.
real.
This is a
Is this a budget or like what
this is the plan for how we're going to build.
Is this a plan or like a document?
This is a plan that the county kind of draws up that says this is where we're going to grow to, right? So these are the parameters in the next 20 years where we're going to, kind of like, hey, we think we can grow to this and we need to have this kind of housing and this kind of stuff. And it gets done every 20 years. And this is one of the years it's going to get done. Mm-hmm. That's a very loose way of saying it. But the projection on housing is a project that you and I are working on right now to try to increase the ability to do that.
Blow my mind.
And hey,
and
there is housing being built. There are apartments being built. And I used to think,
I'm stuck and my roof's falling down. I don't know what the hell to do.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, you got it right. You've got to be able to move.
You have to have apparently a incredible credit, incredible history, incredible salary to be able to afford to fix your roof.
Right.
No one's talking about that.
Yeah, no,
I'm not homeless yet, but I cannot. Like, okay. You have to be 720 this month. I mean, I'm on 700, like, and I've got
good credit.
I can't get a damn roof fixed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very challenging time for all kinds of people. I know, and that's kind of where we're going. So to be able to work on those kinds of projects, they matter. They matter to the place we live and the people. All politics are local.
Well, but I want to know, like, what do we need? So if we built 32,000 units, most of the people that could if I get it right, most of the people that make a certain amount, like, this is capitalism, this is a republic, not a democracy.
You'd have a healthy environment.
You gotta be able to afford it.
You'd have a healthy housing environment, and you would just by default have people that are on the street right now that wouldn't be.
So you're saying 60,000 people are,
if there's more places available, then the price goes down, and more people that are unhoused will be housed. A lot of the people that are unhoused right now are because they cannot afford a place to live. They can't afford that place to live because there's no capacity. We're 99% occupied.
Well, okay.
And if we were 70% occupied, there'd be a lot more space and prices would go down.
When do they do that again? That poll, or like that 20-year thing? So do we have to wait 20 years?
No, that's just a guideline for where the rules are around what you can build and not. And I think there's a lot of builders here who are like, hey man, we'd like to build, but the rules are antiquated. They're a little bit old, and we need to find ways to be able to build stuff smart.
The mayor and city council have some.
They're working on some stuff. They are working on.
I don't want to ruin the classic
nature. The county's working on some stuff. But the campaigns. My point is, the campaigns that we run about this for our clients helped sway public opinion and help people to go, hey, you know what? We really should maybe change the rules about how we build and not build, and that allows for more of those 32,000 to go down to 25, to go to 20, to go to 10. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight, but we get to work on that stuff. We get to work on stuff that matters, right?
Right.
And it's really cool.
I'm just so blown away because I'm in the middle. Everyone's in the middle, and I'm like, all right, there's somewhere here we're going to have it. I know if we do have more units, then
It helps everybody.
for sure. It's just
Supply and demand, man.
if people make their rent and they're in those units, eventually you look at a 20-year spread and you look at how much it costs to put someone, take care of, help someone meet them where they're at, wherever it might be, every year. It's probably more. Okay. I'm just, all right.
Good question.
Interesting.
Off topic, but whatever. Well, yeah, but
I want to buy a damn house at some point.
Well, you own a house, but you want a better house.
I want my roof, or I need to survive here. I'm like everyone else.
No, you are, and you're the lucky one. You among your peers are the lucky one to even be able to own a house right now, especially with an interest rate that's good.
Thank you to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah, that's the only reason I can afford a house.
That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? Okay.
Bring it all the way back.
You and I had the amazing opportunity last summer to go to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And before we went to Italy, and it is Italy, but they would tell us otherwise, we got to go to Sardinia.
Mm-hmm. They would.
What do you remember about that trip, and what was that experience like? First time you'd been out of the country to Europe.
Mm-hmm. And like we've got so
what was
much
it like for you
going on. Like that is one of the hallmark things to talk about. If we've only got a certain amount of time,
I know,
and this and that, I would love to talk about that. There's an incredible person. I don't even know. Well, we can say it now because it's fully
She's amazing,
fully going.
In fact, she should be on this podcast.
Oh yeah, next. Well, Nick Pupo's been on the podcast.
Yeah, he has.
Her husband. So, Vincenza,
Pupo. Vincenza Pupo.
I think she's
yeah, maybe she kept her. Seichi, yes, is her maiden name. Yes,
actual Sardinian family that we got to stay with. So
yes, we did.
I'm just blown away. Like everything I want to do right now. I'm also working on a side project with Leslie's uncle for a military thing, which I super love right now. Like that's a side deal, and this thing is like my main
it's a passion.
This Sardinian
amazing
excursion that we went on just taught me so much about the other half of everything that's important: health, life, wellness, all that stuff. They do it different there. They do it the oldest way, the best way, the barbarian way.
The way we got to get back to.
The way we have to get back to. The simple, yet most flavorful. Let's go back to the mixing board. The simple, most flavorful, incredible textures. Every single thing. Family. I love the sense of family. Meeting, you don't have stress when you know where every person in your family is at any given point, or they're someone else in your family that you do trust for sure will be watching over them. But we got an awesome project to talk about something that it's a blue zone area. So the blue zone,
one of the blue zones in the world, the original blue zones of the world,
being where people on average live more than 100. They call them
more people live to 100 there than anywhere in the world.
Right. So, so you live, they call them centurions, but basically, each place does stuff different, and there's been some bigger docs and books about
Netflix had a big series.
Parsing together the differences to make it one thing. But seriously, the place we went, and I mean, we can look it up, or we can announce it.
Sardinia is where we went.
It's like the place to be, as far as humans deserve to be like fed and treated and living, and that is like the full, using modern technology and
ancient stuff,
as ancient as it goes. So that's one of the things I'm super proud and happy to be working on right now, and that was super fun. We went and we shot like a whole documentary in 3-4 days.
4 days.
Hung out on the beach.
And I both.
We also went into the coolest place in the world. They've got everything. Look it up. Sardinia is incredible, and there's lore and there's all this, but those two people, and Vincenza from being from Seulu, which is the heart center town of Sardinia,
and the blue zone.
She is the vessel.
Yeah,
I'm so honored to have.
We got to hang out with her
knowledge.
family, meet her mom, have be part of an interview that she did with her mom, which was really cool. And when you're there, basically everything that, I mean, we get there and her 86-year-old mother, who does not seem 86, by the way, everybody seems younger. You're like, that guy's 45.
I
He seemed like
invited
he was
her
30,
brother to come hang out with me. Like, where is he? Like, I'd love to, like, he should
he
be
was
here
so
right
rad.
now. He would be an incredible person to have on
If
this
he could speak
podcast.
English, it would be amazing.
But the dude's like closer to 50 than he is 20, and I thought he was 20.
Yeah.
I swear
I know.
to God.
I know. These guys just all are
yeah.
younger, and it's a combination of they all eat food that has no pesticides, has no,
Roundup.
It has no, right. There's no part of that has antibiotics, anything in it. It's all grown locally. It's all picked locally. It's all, foods that are really, really healthy, like walnuts and almonds from there, and
All
honey
in a
that's
square
incredible.
mile. Boom, you got everything.
All of it is right there. They pick it fresh. They butcher their own boar. They make the most incredible prosciutto we will ever have in our life.
It even looks, it's unreal. It's
Unbelievable how good that was. Every meal we had was incredible. And you're walking. You walk a lot. You walk up these little hills kind of everywhere. You can drive, but there's nowhere to park, so you just walk. We were carrying gear all over the place. It was just an idyllic place. And the most important part of it, you said it, was family. Everybody was there. We're really grateful. We're really lucky. And this probably the last question I have for you, but you have cousins that are really close to you. They're almost like family. They're almost like your brothers and sisters, honestly. You have 50, 60 cousins, first cousins that are all really close to you.
I have to shout out Billy for his music, but I'm like,
Yeah,
it's impossible for me to mention one
of your cousins
without like,
I know.
It's impossible.
But that's the same thing. We got there, and all the cousins and all the parents, they're all at least once a week, they talk to their 86-year-old mom. And she is the center of everything. There are no old folks' homes. There's no,
she's the center of everything.
She's the center of everything. And they all respect her, and they love to see her, and they can't wait to see her. And she's still, man, her garden's unbelievable. The food she made was incredible. And that's kind of what it was like for that was what it was like for me to grow up with my grandma and my great grandma. And
getting away from that.
And we have gone completely away from that. So I have to tell one of my favorite stories to end this with you.
All right.
This goes back to you this sort of thread of you having kind of a vision for what's coming and this gift of that. And part of you like remembering being born and all those sort of things that you have. It was 9/11. And the plane goes into the Twin Towers.
Yeah, we're watching in the
and you're wearing your little St. Charles uniform, going to kindergarten. And you see the plane go into the Twin Towers.
Second plane.
You remember
First
this.
plane,
Yes.
I got woken up. Holy crap, we might be like, for those of you that have never had one of those nuclear scare moments, this is the moment, which we may have next week when it comes to the Hamas-Israel situation.
Yeah, who knows?
If you've ever had a moment where you actually think the world's coming to an end, this was one of them. I remember that too.
And you were little, and I was like, the TV was on, and you saw it, and there was no unseeing it.
Yep.
I'm like, I can't protect this guy. And
I was woken up like shit's going down.
Yeah, you and I were talking. You
Get
woke
your
up.
Bag. I'm too smart. I'm that kind of kid. I would hate it. I hope when I have kids, they're not going to be like me. What's that? I don't care. You're wrong. I see it on TV. God,
there's two moments. This was one of those moments where you're like, you see the plane go in, and you were incredibly insightful. And I'm like, oh boy, he saw it. What am I going to do? This is one of those don't be a bad dad moment. And you say,
it's the worst moment in U.S.
It's scary. It is. And you like, Dad, did that plane just go in that building? I go, yep. And you said, are there people in that building? And I said, yeah, there's a lot of people in that building. And you said, are they going to die? And you're 5 or 6. And I'm like, yep, there's people that are going to die there, buddy. And you're like, you said, and I will never forget this. You said, I bet the people in that plane did that because God told them to. They think God wants them to do that.
Hmm.
So I bet they did that because they think God wants them to do that. I'm like, that's exactly why they did that. And you're like, is that, you think about that for a while. And first of all, I'm just blown away that you had that insight. I don't know where it came from, what other life you lived. I don't know. But to know that those people did that because they think God wanted them to do that is incredible.
Hijab. I've never seen any. I don't even know what being a Muslim is.
No, you have no idea. You're 5. And you're like, you think for a minute, and then you're like,
I didn't know.
Is that here? Is that close? I go, no, that's in New York. It's really far away, buddy. And you're like, well, I'm okay, and Emma's okay, and Mom's okay. You're okay. We're okay. And you run off and you go to school.
That's how I handled 9/11.
That's how you handle 9/11.
Zach, this is ridiculous.
You had a sense of we're okay, but you also had a sense of why those people did that. And I don't know where that came from, but there's something about that I will never forget, and that you have, I don't know, something in you that's like, I get it.
That's a strange one.
I don't think it's going away. I think that's still part of who you are.
And you know what? It's weird. I mean, we got different parts of our brain and whatnot, but the older I get,
you're still in touch with that.
My definition of God, like everyone else, may change at different points. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it snaps back right to where it was. But the feeling of it, and the feeling of knowing when you really know on a human level, and people push that too far. Not everything's emotional, but like when you really know, sometimes you know, sometimes you feel something and it doesn't matter if you know. And that's interesting too.
You know, the best moment, I think one of the best moments I had as a dad was,
that is a cool moment. Wow.
That was an amazing moment.
Jeez.
Similarly, and we will stop here, but, the carousel in Spokane is like an iconic place. I don't know.
The gold.
You do
not bring up the gold ring?
This is the gold ring.
I remember the gold ring.
Okay,
I remember it.
But you may not remember this part. You are, I think, under 2 years old. And I am a stupid
remember
dad.
This ring. This is like the most, if you're from Spokane, this is so memorable.
So we get on the carousel, and I'm like, oh, it's your first ride on the carousel. It's going to be great. And you're like, I'm holding you, and you're sitting in one of the, one of the horses, and I'm standing there holding you. Like, this is going to be great. We're going on our first ride, and this is going to be awesome. It's a very Spokane thing to do, right? Something my dad would have done with me, when this thing was at Nap Park or wherever. We're riding this thing, and all of a sudden, you're like 2. This thing starts going fast.
Oh shit! Does it go out of the way?
Fast. It goes way fast.
I don't remember this.
For a 2-year-old.
No way.
Oh my god!
It's like out of whack.
And I'm like,
yes.
Oh god, this thing's going.
Situation.
And you're like, you look at me and you go, Dad.
Oh, this is that moment, and you go,
and I go, I had a choice. I go, are you okay?
Oh, that was the baseball one.
No. I'm like, I can go, are you okay? Instead, I go, isn't this great?
Yeah.
And you go,
I tell this often. Yep.
And I swear to God, that was a defining moment for you. Because ever since you're like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And if I had gone, are you okay, buddy? You would have gone, no, I'm not. This is scary. That's the only great thing I did as a dad, I swear, was that moment. Because ever since, I'm just like getting out of the way because you have like just taken life, man.
Well, the one thing I'd say is that doesn't stop for people.
No.
And especially if you're like,
it's a defining moment.
I don't define business, whatever relationship it is. Like, it's not too late to start like normalizing, like just go for it.
Go for it.
I don't just normalize it. Like whatever, it's fine. It doesn't have to be this thing or the conversation. Like just go for it. I love that. I bring that up all the time. That's like one of my it's probably fake. You probably made it up.
No, I did not.
It's my mantra.
No, and I remember seeing Mom and she's like, "Oh, that was fast." I'm like, I know. And I told her what I said. She's like, I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you told him to go, and you loved it. Then you were like, man, bring it on. You know, you love the ride. The rest of the ride was
Holy damn. I mean, we'll finish up, but my thought, this is a Spokane podcast. I just saw a shot of like the wood in my mind while you're going on the carousel.
Yep.
Back in the day,
Yes.
I think we were on I was the horse behind you, the stallion behind you, and you pulled up, and I think you faked it. Did you fake it? You got the gold. You faked
No, I
it.
got the gold. I've gotten the gold before.
You got the gold.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
All right, I think this is
And I
not
gave
this is
it
a
to you.
generational thing or something. The gold is probably easier
The
to
gold
get,
ring,
and then it got shut down.
They did.
and then
The
now it's
gold
not so
ring-
big.
The gold
I
ring was a
thought
deal.
it was 1 in a million, and I'm
I ended
sitting
up-
there
well,
like,
it's kind of rare.
it is rare.
It's
There's
rare.
no way it's
I
not
remember
rare.
getting that gold and
because
giving it to
I
you.
went 10 times and I pulled the plastic, literally, and you told me, and I think you faked it. You faked it because you're like, I'm
No.
gonna win the gold one this
No,
time.
I
But
don't
you
think
probably
so.
said
I
that
think I
every
got
time.
it.
No, you looked at me. I'll never forget. I was probably 6 or
I
something.
remember this.
I'm gonna get the gold one. You got,
I got the gold one. I gave it to
and
you.
it's on your key ring.
Yeah, it
to
is on
this
the,
day.
Yes, I know.
That blows my mind.
Well, yeah, I gave it. I think I
What?
gave you the gold ring.
No, it's that one.
Oh, it's that one on my gold. I still have it.
The
on my,
same
I
one.
still have it on my key ring. Yeah,
Well, I'll have you know that's one of the most things that I remember ever. So
that's so cool.
I'm not gonna give you much, but I'll give you that
I
one.
appreciate it. Hey, thank you for doing this. Thanks for being number 50.
All right, how bad is it? What's the damage?
It's pretty
How
bad.
long
This is
it?
going to be long. Zach
this
might have
3
to cut
hours?
some stuff out. No, it's 2.
Okay, we're fine.
I mean, I've seen worse.
No, I mean,
right
like-
about, but we knew this was going to
Like
be a
Lex
big one.
Friedman or
It's
Joe
number
Rogan.
50.
Like these guys
Come on.
go 3
Hey,
hours.
thanks for being my son and being the best ever. And I love you.
Well,
and
we didn't have a choice either way. So.
I know, but I'm grateful that you've turned out so awesome.
No, I'm super grateful.
And thanks
too.
for your idea to do this podcast. And I'm glad I trusted you because I'm like, I don't get it, but he gets everything. I'm just going to believe this kid wherever he thinks because you get it. You understand. You just always
Well, this is
have.
super fun because we started this. I had a podcast, and this
Yeah.
is so much more fun.
I was on your podcast.
You need to be like on a podcast. This is so much more fun. so easy.
It is, right? It's
way
harder
better.
to be going
Being
through the list and
you
making sure
sucks
I
right
got
now.
on my
This is
list. I know it's
fantastic
work.
for me.
People think this is easy.
So I'll interview you at 100 or something. I'll
yeah,
interview
you need to interview me.
at 100.
Okay, 100.
Zach is
you're gonna
75.
host the 100th.
We got to fly him out of not.
I know.
He's got to be here for 75.
He'll be 75, and you'll be. I'll be
should have
100.
been 50.
I'll be 100, and you do the interview.
Okay.
Deal. All right. Hey, thanks. Cheers.
All right.
Thanks for
I
doing
don't think
that.
we should have any more.
No, we're done.
All right. Cheers.
MIP Podcast was filmed at the studio of Corner Booth Media. Please sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere podcasts can be found. We'd love it if you'd rate, review, and subscribe to help our podcast grow. Be good to yourself. Stay interesting.